pillow. So adorable.
Poor guy.
Oh, I'm sick. Oh.
It's not so much sick as post-op.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Wait, I need to clear for the internet. Not that kind of
I'm on
post-op, just he had a
drugs.
surgery.
Hey.
Post-op has a whole connotation
True.
in America when you say
True.
that. Jodo, are you in the stream? Does everything sound okay?
Are you alive? I can't hear Jodo.
Well, he probably muted himself here so that he can listen to the stream and make sure everything's okay. I got a proper Yeti microphone because apparently I was the only one that didn't have one between me, Jodo, and Gooey. So
fancy.
Yeah, I know. But it does, in my opinion, sound a lot better than my headset mic, hopefully. So
No, it does. It sounds good.
Good.
Now you can be a radio announcer.
I'm going to do commentary for football games, replays, or something. Colts lost today.
You could always join the shit show podcast that's going to happen.
Hey, sign me up, man.
Yes.
All I got to do is make a fool out of myself. I can moderate your debates.
Oh my god.
You guys can be the master debaters, and I'll be the judge.
Be a lot of master debating.
So, I have a book.
Uh-huh.
That's going. Let me get that open. When last we left, our intrepid explorers of the galaxies.
Wait, Intrepid. That's the other team.
Oh, sorry.
That's a car.
You guys had investigated the, oh my goodness, what was the name of it? Acreon. That was the ship that you guys took a look at and found out how the crew had all died.
Horribly.
Mainly zombie death from, well, impregnated by dogs to turn into zombies, basically, is how that went down. You met your two friends, Bob and Clank, who I have yet to make character sheets for because I was gone all weekend. But one day it'll happen. I just keep thinking they're gonna die, and you guys haven't let that happen. Because Mama Ama. Oh, that's actually gonna be your new nickname.
Oh no! Oh no! Why'd you do this?
Refuses to let them die or leave them behind. Apparently. Then there was.
Once she started remembering about them.
After going through the Acreon and finding out what was going on there, you then went on to the Drift Rock and explored that.
Terribly.
Also terribly. Things were going good for a while. I gotta pause this for a second.
Oh. You mean just the link, or? Oh yeah.
The Rat Betty's back.
I'm trying to get everything around. There we go.
He likes to chill on the mic.
You went to the Drift Rock and explored it. Were able to find some computerized components that are not functioning because it looks like the functioning pieces are probably not there. Which gives concern to the fact that the Drift Rock might have been part of a larger piece of something. Like maybe it's a chunk of something, but not the whole piece. You did not, in fact, find the whole enchilada. Let's see. There was the ghost thing that almost killed you. There was the zombie that 100% killed someone. Jodo died a massive damage death, the likes of which the world had never seen.
Ripped right in half.
And he got a great burial.
Spaced his body to make sure that he didn't turn into a zombie and kill you all, which was good because you had about a half hour left till that happened. And then upon re-entering the cave to continue on, happened across a one Mr. Hardy Kane, who had apparently at some point in time crash landed on the rock that you guys were on. Details are vague on that, and you guys all got together because you were all stuck, and went from there on to the last kind of the big bad of the rock itself, which was the Gurgrakakal, which, in case anybody needed a reminder, we can look at real quick. Image.
Oh, the thing that I uppercut almost to death.
Yeah.
That fucking thing.
Gross.
Which was preying upon you and your brains and your livelihood until the point of it bouncing through the rock. Not bouncing, but phasing through rock.
It bounced. It's like out.
It bounced, yeah. It basically did not like the fact that it was starting to take a beating. Thanks mainly in part to Hardy Kane and some excellent combat maneuvers by the rest of the group to give him some advantages on some rolls that he had.
To be
That's
fair,
the new meta.
I fell down twice, and the healer picked me up twice.
To be fair, you died twice and you got better.
Effort.
There was a group effort. Your job was apparently to do the beating, and Hardy Kane succeeded in that. And thanks for the host, Big Mike. Appreciate you, buddy. You're the best.
Hey,
he's got to do that kind of crap now that he's actually like an official Twitch person now.
Legit streamer.
With all 4 followers.
Our friends in low places.
Never mind, I gotta add his icon then to Discord.
So.
Oh yeah, Joe, your name's still your old name.
It is. I haven't changed it yet.
You guys beat the bricks mainly off of that guy. It retreated, and then while trying to get the Starship Maiden booted back up and online, a ship that was left 75 years ago, by the dead pilot you found in a cupboard.
Yeah.
But in her last will and testament, she said, "Hey, whoever finds the ship, take it and go forth and do good things." Basically, so.
Did we keep that will and testament? Because otherwise, we kind of technically stole a ship.
I mean, I believe Alma. It was on the data pad that Alma picked up.
Yeah, it was on the data pad that Alma picked up, so you do have a copy.
As long as it's a legal binding document, we're good.
Like legality has ever helped you.
While Vector was getting the systems online and bringing everything up to speed, the Gargoyle tried to come back, but you guys were able to narrowly escape, pulling off some kind of Star Warsy space flight sim, like side swipe. Oh god, we're gonna match, and then pulls the
thread the needle.
Yeah, thread the needle at the very end and manage to get out. And the Gargoyle creature not wanting to follow through all of the void of space. So you have left the rock. You are now aboard. Oh, here I can share this. You are now aboard the Sunrise Maiden, which is your new ship.
I searched the cargo hold.
It's empty. Congratulations. One of these days, you're going to just search and find nothing but traps for an entire session.
I can't wait till that happens.
On board the ship, you find... I don't know if you guys can see the PC button, but I will bring up the character sheet for the Starship so I can read off the stuff that it has just in case. There are 2 cargo holds, a set of escape pods for 6, and a hollow suite. It also has crew quarters. Armament-wise,
And a recreation wing.
It has a flak thrower, which is like a point defense system, a gyro laser, 2 light laser cannons, and 1 light particle beam weapon. The light particle beam weapon is on a turret, so it can fire any arc. I'm positive all of you did your research this week on Starship Combat, just in case something like that would happen and come forward.
Oh, yeah.
So,
definitely
shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
I have the book open next to me.
That's the same.
What's
So, you also have push gooey out in the airlock. I don't think it works that way.
Oh, Captain Richard. You're my boo, girl.
I don't think we can really. I mean, someone can push him out. But thank you for the donation because that's will help us buy the next module so that I could going broke paying for Starfinder.
Yay!
But it's been great. So thank you very much for the $10. Appreciate it. So that's where we are.
This
You
way
got-
we can die many, many more times.
Yeah, at this rate. And you all hit level 3 at the end of that, and we did some serious character renovations as far as leveling up everybody. We got all that done off stream to save what was a lot of time because,
Yeah.
again, no one's used the system before, so it's all new to all of us. That being said, do you have any questions in regards to what you does everybody know what you're supposed to be doing right now? Because there's been a lot that's happened.
Heading back to the station place.
No.
No?
Whatchamacallit
The name
on
of the next
on
module,
the
Captain
disabled
Richards, would
ship,
be
the sarcophagus.
it's just
Oh yeah.
AP3
We gotta get that crate.
for the Dead Sons
Well, it's also
adventure.
talking. I mean, we got
I don't actually.
Arms McGee over here. We could maybe clear out the rest of the
I'm
fucking
not sure
rooms.
if I have the
then
name of it
maybe get more cocoons for
on
like
hand
making weapons or money.
Nice.
because we
I
just
mean,
got the second one now.
we
I think,
could.
so.
But we should probably have a quick chat since you're all on this ship with me, and some things have come to light.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to take you seriously when you're laughing.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should all just go have a little chat in the conference room then, eh?
Yes, all of us should pile into this small room
We definitely have a conference room.
and
There-
and have a
There is a
have
conference
quick
room in the
chat.
back.
Yeah.
So, is that what we're all doing? We're all going to
The
the
next
conference room?
AP Captain
Yeah.
Richard is called
Oh, okay.
Splintered Worlds.
So I'm gonna kind of like stand in front of the door, and
This
just
can't
kinda-
end poorly.
kind of take in the surroundings a little bit, kind of look at you, and my character is kind of glancing between all of you. So you know how like I was down on that rock and you guys were like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And I was just like, just here on a job, and then I got lost, and you guys made that deal where like we would help each other and get us off the rock and all that stuff. Like,
Oh no.
yeah.
Oh no.
So like you guys kept your end of the bargain, and I really appreciate that. It was very kind of you. The thing is that you blew up my ship, and I may or may not have been there to kill you.
Oh, that's kind of unfortunate, isn't it? Then.
I mean, it was just one of those things that just kind of happened. But
I gotcha.
I to be clear, I've decided, not to do that whole killing you thing. That would be kind of shitty. So, my point here is that, I gave you guys my name, Hardicane. I didn't tell you my real name. You guys kept up your end of the bargain. I feel like I can maybe trust you a little bit. So, my actual name is Jahir Asar Senesul of Clan Cast, House Ratscore.
Does that mean things to us?
What do we call you for short?
So
Just
Culture
okay,
check.
so everyone, everybody roll culture checks. That's a good call.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah,
No.
Danny gets
Nope.
nothing. Alma, a little more.
Fucking arm.
The android gets it. Obviously, Jody, you don't have to roll culture checks for yourself. So,
Do I know me?
the
Does he remember who he is?
the
Never mind.
I mean, this isn't. So all of you would know that the Kasatha have very long names. It's just part of their heritage and their culture.
For each arm?
The name, yeah,
Kind of.
the names have basically
My stuff is named Sure.
the name is basically broken into like subsets of like what part of it's part of their clan name or subset of that clan or job they had. Think of like, John Smith was called John Smith because he was a blacksmith back in the feudal ages. Like that's why he had that last name, but just on a much larger scale and longer name. Um, so other than that, none of you have enough real knowledge of their culture specifically to know like what all that means, but it's not uncommon for a name of that race.
So, one of the main things with my races is that we do not really particularly trust anyone outside of us.
And you got
We
400.
generally view you as inferior, backwoods, like redneckish, just completely like we don't have a whole lot of respect for you, with the exception of probably Vector, who would be very interesting to me.
Right. Because Android.
Yeah. So
Oh,
by giving you
not the mouse
my
guy?
full name shows that I do trust you a little bit. You still would have no idea what my actual face looks like because it is consistently covered. The mouth and like general facial features are never shown. That is just a racial quirk of ours.
It's a cultural type thing. Think
Yeah.
like a job kind of deal.
My armor would be traditional kind of Kaskin or Kastan, blah, 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 which actually just kind of worked out. That's just happened to be what I picked at the time. I couldn't do it any better.
Well, it's hard for you to not pick their armor only because most armor doesn't come with 4 sets of armor plating for that
Yeah.
for the arms.
Yeah.
Details.
So basically, what you would be getting out of this conversation is that, yeah, I was supposed to kill you, but I'm not going to now. The way like honor would dictate that I can't kill you, that I owe you, that I'm indebted, and that I would have to follow you until that debt was paid, and I like trust you a little bit, but not to the point where like, hey, we're buddies, let's go out drinking kind of deal.
So is it like a life debt?
Not really.
I don't remember what the.
It's similar.
Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna go and sacrifice myself for you, but I will definitely help you out if I can.
Yeah, gotcha. So, want a job?
I mean, you kind of already hired me for a job to be part of your crew.
Cool.
I didn't really hire you. I mean, I told you you want to fucking try to get a job here with the Starfinders.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, it's true. You did promise me that you'd try. So yeah, I will stick around until that either pans out or doesn't, and then we'll see. We'll go from there.
Word. Yeah. So.
All right. So
So after gathering you all into a small conference room in which maybe he was going to murder you or maybe he just wanted everyone
if
to be
things
on
went
one
badly,
side
I
of a
was swinging
door,
for the fences.
it seems like you guys have decided to maybe tolerate Hardicane for a little while longer. So this kind of fills in some gaps for you guys of who Astral Extractions sent to intercept you guys when you had first left for the
Murder. The
Acreon.
word was
Murder. Yeah.
I mean,
That's being
potato,
weird.
padildo.
You have to remember, my intelligence is not very high, so you got the Cliff Notes version of like, I think this is what I was supposed to do. I don't know.
So that being said, you guys are right now. You're just kind of far enough away from the Drift Rock and the Acreon that you're safe. The Gargakal is retreated back inside the Drift Rock. I will remind you only because you may be getting ready to leave, and I don't know what your next steps are, and we have a week between sessions, that there is a piece of cargo on the Acreon that you did say you would bring back before you knew what was inside. So it's still your choice to do such a thing. But there was a cash reward for completion of said side mission.
I like money.
I didn't really
I mean, the
mind.
cargo's a little grouchy, though.
We don't have to open it though.
Yeah, that's true.
This is true. As a matter of fact, if you recall, they specifically said that they were going to stay inside their container until they reached Absalon Station.
Yeah.
So there's no need to necessarily wake said person up again.
Well, do we also want to clear up? So, do we want to clear up the rest of the ship? Because I know he's in one cargo bay. There was another cargo bay we didn't clear.
Could do that.
To be fair, we are low on meds, probably ammo. I'm not really looking forward to getting bit by dogs again. I mean, I will punch a dog in its mouth. I don't care. And I will also punch that man in a casket you're talking about. He seems kind of rude.
He is a little bit, but we're getting paid for carrying his little ass.
I mean, I'm all about just grabbing the casket and getting back to the station.
Let's just do that. Hey, Vector, you want to go ahead and do us a docty?
Duckity duck.
What?
A docty.
You want to dock us with the Acreon?
I guess so.
You really are the android from Hitchhiker's Guide today. I guess.
We're all gonna die anyway.
So with a little bit of time and minimal effort, you're able to dock the Sunrise Maiden with the Acreon.
I know I don't have to roll, but I'm gonna roll anyway.
Go for it.
Yeah, nailed it.
Expertly. Just
Last time
you
someone
guys
said that for me.
are. Yeah, I'm gonna roll just to be fair. You're dead. You effortlessly dock it, mainly because there's autopilot is a thing. But besides that, you make it look like it's all you.
I turn off the autopilot. You
There
guys
you
are
go.
like, why? Why, God, why?
Why would you do that? I managed to dock just fine with the Acreon to the aft port, same as you were kind of before when the hippocampus dropped you off the first time before it left you guys there. And if all you're doing going on and getting the container.
Going to search the kitchen one more time for anything.
I mean the kitchen at this point. I mean you guys cleaned it out pretty good last time, so.
The
There's
goblins ate all the extra food.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
goblins ravaged the place, and there's nothing on board that really
Yeah, that's true.
of use at this point.
You
I
made
guess
it
we use
sandwich
Skadoodle.
already.
All right, so Bob and Clank go with you guys on board the Acreon for one last just scavenge and search, and then they find the crate that you guys are having move and rig up some sort of like easel. Miniature hover device that allows it to be kind of just picked up and easily moved from one point to the other. Because now that there's atmosphere and gravity on the Acreon, you have to deal with that. So, but they're able to rig up a device because goblin engineers are the best, and
Right?
rig it up and so that it's on like two little hover pads that carry it, so it's a nice smooth ride. Because precious cargo, and you guys get that back on board your ship. No problem, secured in now your cargo bay on the Sunrise Maiden.
I'm going to yell, watch that bump and kick the box.
You hear some muttering in a language that is unfamiliar to you. And while it's unfamiliar, it still seems like cursing.
Man, this ship is so new. I'm not so familiar with this. Just bumps everywhere.
So-
Kick it again.
All right, so you've got the cargo back and stowed away upon the Sunrise Maiden. What is your next move?
I guess we should just
To the station.
search the rest of the ship, maybe, though? I mean,
Our ship, you mean? Or
if she left on her. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
in exploring the Sunrise Maiden, you find a set of 6 escape pods, 2 cargo bays. There's a galley. There's crew quarters. There's the conference room that you've been in. Engineering again to the rear.
So there's no leftover supplies that she had on here.
Anything that would have been supply-wise has definitely spoiled. Remembering that the ship was first crash-landed there 75 years ago, and while MREs can keep, no food stores really stay that long. I mean, you could risk it you could risk it for the biscuit, literally, if you wanted. But the biscuit is probably best thrown out and new biscuits purchased.
Hey, Civil War biscuits are still good.
Other than that, yeah, like I said, you've kind of gone over. Vector's taken his time to acquaint himself with the computer systems and piloting controls and weapons.
I'm up in the computer systems.
Oh. Captain's room. Is there anything in there?
So
Other than me, the captain.
you're the pilot.
I'm the captain now.
I'm the
We're
captain
all the
now.
captains.
One thing you do notice in the captain's quarters, there is and whoever goes in first finds this. So if Hardicane, if you're, well, yeah, let's be honest, the fucking rat's in there first because the rat's everywhere first. You will notice that there is a blinking light on the computer station in the captain's office.
I press. Yeah, I just tapped the.
Right. So, in accessing the computer station, you basically just find a repeat of what was on the data pad. Like, it's actually like a word for word repeat. It seems that the captain also transmitted the message from her data pad to the Sunrise Maiden before she was killed.
So I'm just going to do an audio or video clip of whoever finds this ship is now the owner of this and save it and put it onto my data pad because, now it's legally binding. This is our ship.
Okay. So you now have 2 copies of the thing that says it's your ship just in case from 2 different sources because we can't be too sure.
You never know.
You never know.
So, but aside from that, like I said, you find the holodeck, the escape pods, the cargo bays are void of anything useful. The galleys pretty much run through. There's not anything really here of use right now.
To the station.
To the station.
To the station.
No worries. So,
Your pilot's on drugs.
Vector, give me a piloting check.
I do what I want to do.
I fly this ship when I want to fly this ship is exactly what Vector says. The 20.
And proceeds to roll the natural 20.
I do what I want to do, barrel roll.
Jesus. Thank goodness for artificial gravity.
You're marveled by my barrel roll, and then you look down and realize that I've chugged all the beers. Yeah.
I like this android. We'll go be friends.
Vector, while piloting the craft back to the station, you get what would be a fair distance away from the Acreon with your 20. I'm just going to give this to you. When a blip does appear on the radar screen, let it be known that I never ask you guys to do something just by chance. There is a ship headed towards you, and you can anyone. Well, not anyone. I would say.
You're gonna go to my weapons.
I would say Vector, Amma, and Hardicane can all make engineering / culture checks to determine things of said ship.
Pew.
Oh, do I get any bonuses?
You're muted? Are you muted?
He is muted,
Yes,
but I
I
can
am.
hear him through you, so it still works. So that's nice
I was
about
wondering
you.
if I should make any bonuses. I know I get to use culture for stuff. Maybe I should be rolling culture.
It depends on what you want to do. If you're trying to identify the ship, so let's just start with what we already have, because obviously the data can be shared amongst all of you.
Right.
So, Amma, we'll start with you. You've got a 28 on your engineering check. So, based on that, you know that...
Also, I get to re-roll this if I...
I engineered some culture.
You engineered some culture.
Yeah.
So that's how it's done.
The ship that is coming towards you is a small, light freighter, and is...
I guess Alma probably has this covered.
Is a Iron Rictus class ship, according to this. That seems odd, but
Oh dear.
Whatever
Are
that
we gonna
means.
die again?
Now, and that's about all you can get from the engineering check. You had the highest level engineering check, so I just gave that to you. Culture-wise, if anybody wants to roll culture.
Sure.
I guess I'm still in the captain's room.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are all there when this kind of breaks down.
I'll help.
Yeah.
Like how all help became a 20. I'll help 20. So this ship is, how to explain it. Matter of fact, I may try and find an image.
Does it
so
look
that
like it's made by Necrons?
this ship is. Wait.
Mhm.
Oh no, that's the outside.
Oh, I reduced the DC of culture checks to recall knowledge about starships and vehicle models and parts, as well as famous hotshot pilots by 5.
Oh, so yeah, you'd know this as well.
Yeah, so
The
it's
sh-
made by Necrons.
the ship, the ship headed towards you, looks interesting to say the least. It is something what could only be described as what looks like a flying skeleton.
Oh.
Vector, you would specifically recall this type of ship looking as such.
Am I supposed to have 1 extra dexterity?
Oh.
Theme knowledge. I don't think I ever noticed this before. It says in addition, you gain an ability adjustment of +1 to dexterity at character creation.
Timitor, thanks
Oh,
for
that
the
would have been
follow.
automatic
I hope I
with
said
them.
your name right.
Yeah.
It would?
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome
Yeah.
to
Mine
all of our
definitely.
attempts at a first
Oh
shot
my god,
of
you got
trying to play
follower?
Starfinder.
Oh my god.
I know, followers. Woohoo! So, that is the ship that is following you. Ama and
Looks like a wishbone.
Vector, actually, all of you immediately identify this ship due to your, we'll say, current personal standing with the Pack Worlds and the fact that you're a part of them. Immediately recognize that this ship is outlawed in the Pack World systems, and it should not be there.
Shit.
Red alert.
Shit.
And with that,
Shit.
and with that, let me get up. I have to be careful now what stuff I preload because Gui and Jodo are always in chat watching things.
Yeah, but
I
I,
have it muted.
I cover up the video. So.
Yeah, sorry. I just got chat.
Sure. So we will share us some space map.
Woo!
Space.
I'm in space.
Can we not hail them?
Do we want to?
I mean, like, hey,
like the famous DM in the sky says, you can certainly try.
Oh.
Why can't? Oh, I'm gonna have to do it this way, aren't I? And this is my fault because I wasn't able to get all the stuff I needed to do this weekend done. Tokens, there they are.
if it makes you feel better, I never do.
And then you get your ship is of Absalom Station. There we go. Okay, so for the sake of brevity, we're gonna just kind of put it like that. Oh wait, you can't see that yet. Hang on. There we go. There's the bad guys.
Yeah.
So as you undock from the Acreon and make your way toward the station, you notice a ship coming in, hot and heavy, as they say, toward you. Alarms and bells and whistles are going off, and we're about to start, for our second time in Starfinder, spaceship combat.
Space fight.
Woo!
Bring them on comms.
Yeah, actually, I am going to open up comms with them.
Yeah.
I will give you one round of free action if you want to talk to them. Sure.
Oh no, it's not going to be talking.
No. I mean, it's like, hey, we got your general on board.
We don't know that they're their general.
You're fucking Necrons.
No, you know, Well, Hurricane, you don't, unless they've.
Yeah.
At this point, I assume that data has been shared to Hurricane about what
Yeah.
you guys have
When
previously
we were
discovered.
getting it. Yeah.
But you know that the general that you have in your cargo bay had markings on them that belong to the Corpse Fleet, which is the type of ship that is following you, also belongs to the Corpse Fleet. That's why it is specifically outlawed.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, what's his name?
However, the mission is to get him to the station.
Yeah, we don't know. like,
Correct.
what if they're trying to get him back? What if he's like turning code or something?
Yeah.
Man, true.
We probably don't
Correct.
want to.
The general was very blunt and non-informative on why you guys were transporting him.
Yeah.
At what point should we ask him?
He already told us to fuck off until we
He
get to
did.
the mission, so...
But things have changed.
I am going to, because I can taunt at any phase,
Yeah.
I'm going to intimidate them
Mhm.
and tell them, hey, you need to back off, or I'm going to smash you in your mouth, which is...
Dun, dun, dun,
I
dun.
select an enemy vessel and phase of combat, so I guess the first phase. And then attempt a bluff or intimidate check, which is a DC 15 plus 2 times the enemy starship's tier.
Okay.
That's a lot of math.
Versus the enemy starships tier?
Yes, 15 plus 2 times the enemy starship's tier.
Times 2. It is a tier 2 ship.
Alright. So I guess I just roll intimidate. Right? Yes.
Yeah, if you remember the keep in mind roles and tools and mechanics for starship combat not fully built into Fantasy Grounds yet.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to fudge some things and keep track of some stuff on the side. So please do that on your end as well.
So I rolled a 17, but I get a +1 from the ship. So it would be an 18.
And what's the DC is what on that?
15 plus 2 times the enemy starships, time the enemy starship tier. So I would need...
You needed a 30 something then.
Yeah.
So you do not succeed in intimidating. So you open a channel to the enemy ship, hail them, and speak your piece, upon which you just hear in return, "We welcome you to try."
Okay.
Regular
It was a good attempt.
There was an attempt.
Are there weapons?
Do they have weapons?
Yeah, well, I mean, is there weapons on and targeting us?
You have no reason to believe that they are not.
I don't believe that they're friendly at all.
How fast, could we outrun them?
I mean, it's a freighter.
That's true.
If we wanted to just book it to the station, what are our chances?
What is the speed of your ship?
Stellar drugged up android hit it. not like physically.
What is the speed of the sunrise maiden? That's what I need to find out.
But that's what I do.
What is the speed of an
It's not
African
your
swallow? Amma, as the ship's engineer, and Vector as the ship's pilot, and based on your roles earlier, you know 100% this ship will outrun you.
Okay. Dang.
We tried, boys.
And with that, we are going to go into piloting checks. So,
For everybody?
no, it's
Nope.
it's Vector versus the enemy pilot.
Just let me find.
Don't let me down, boo.
Haha.
Save us.
15.
Oh, no.
Okay, so they win the piloting initiative, so you move your ship first.
Yeah. Well, what I learned from last time is that there's no reason to move further away if you're not trying to outrun them. So let's just get closer. It's 6. I don't remember how to pull up the ship details.
PC ship.
Yes.
Sunrise
And
maiden.
that one.
I think it's
There you go.
the speed of the ship is 10. It says speed 10, turn good, drift 1. So I
Yep.
think that means you can move 10 hexes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Unless each hex is 5 or something.
It shouldn't be because this in reality is a huge map.
Okay.
I just put you guys closer because inevitably that will happen. So,
I know turning is going to be a big deal and all that stuff. I will just let you handle that.
so basically we're just gonna spin you around that way for now, and you look upside down. But I would assume that you are going to point the nose of the ship toward the enemy.
Yep.
Now remember, when you take damage, the damage affects your shields first, and then you take hull damage after that. Okay, so from that point, turning the ship is important in regards to trying to mitigate damage to one area, and Amma, you are able to recharge shields from your engineering station.
Nice.
So we've had our helm action. We now move into the gunnery phase. Well, their action is going to be they don't even. It's like no fucks are given on their end. They are just barreling straight at you, as long as you are going to barrel straight at them, because they don't need air, so they don't care if they hit you. So that being said, we now move to the gunnery phase.
Yay.
And we'll just read this to kind of recap for those watching at home who may not know how Starfinder space combat works.
Or those here.
Or
also.
those here who haven't read the book like I requested. During the gunnery phase, gunners, plural, fire their starship's weapons. Starships fire in the same order in which their pilots acted during that round's helm phase. But the effects of damage are not taken into account until the end of phase, meaning all starships that can fire, even if they take enough damage to be disabled or destroyed, do, and the damage resolves simultaneously at the end of that phase. Okay?
Dang. Okay.
So, that being said, anyone who wants to fire a gun can. You guys are currently have the enemy in your front arc, which would mean the turret and the front arc weapon may fire. And you may make...
I don't know what that is. I have a flak thrower.
That's
I
off
think
the
that's
ass
the,
end. It should
So
say...
before we got a gyro laser, and we also got a turret, light particle beam.
Which is all 2d4.
Except for the light particle beam, that's a 3d6.
Also, I have like a ton of stuff that uses piloting skill to like evade or flyby, and I don't know what any of it does.
Evade and flyby are just ways of like avoiding our combat maneuvers. If you have the book, I don't know if I can't remember if you do or not, but 318 describes
I don't.
kind of.
Can you?
I have it up, but it's on my screen.
So
Yeah,
the other
I know,
day
I
I
can't.
found
Well,
when
not-
attempting a gunnery check during starship combat, you can either use your ranks in piloting or your base attack bonus to calculate the attack roll. So Vector, you have a lot of piloting.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
happen to have that.
Yes.
So I guess I will roll that.
Realistically, if firing from the front arc, Vector and Gooey should probably be firing because they would have
The best chance.
the best. Oh, Jesus.
Jesus
Did I throw them
Christ.
out of the sky?
Okay, so
You're doing a good job of it.
you're off to a stellar start. The gunner's base. Okay, so it's 1d20 plus piloting skill, which you've done.
Yep.
Plus, okay, hang on, because again, making notes as we go. Vector, what is your dexterity modifier?
My total bonus for a snapshot is -2. If that's what you're asking.
No, I'm
My
asking
dex
what your
specifically is
dex modifier is. 3.
Plus
Okay.
3.
Sorry.
And then bonus from computer systems of the starship. Hang on, let me see if that applies. Yeah, you get, there's another +1 there, so there's another 1. Plus bonuses from captains and scientist officers. None of you did that this turn. That is something that you can both do. But as the captain, remember that that's kind of like your inspire ability.
You gotta yell at people.
No, but you didn't do that this time because you tried to intimidate. Plus range penalty. At this point, pretty sure there's no range penalty. So, Vector, your total gunnery check that round is a 37 versus the enemy's armor class of 15. So that hits. It also would do critical damage because you rolled a 20. So you rolled a natural 20, which would be critical damage. So roll damage for the weapon.
Okay.
Which one were you using? The forward?
The flak throw. Oh, the flak throw is the only one I have.
Okay,
No.
so that's 3d4.
Oh,
No.
it's a 2d4.
Wait, hang
Apparently,
on.
that doesn't-
Let's take a step back here.
If you look at weapons, it has it as a 3d4.
I don't know why. Wait, time out.
Yeah.
The flak thrower is an aft arc weapon only. In order for you to make this shot, you would be using the gyro laser, which is the forward arc weapon,
1d8.
Yes.
which is 1d8 damage.
Okay.
So you're going to roll 2d8 for damage because of the critical hit.
Yay.
All right, so I need to make freaking pencil graphs at this point. So they're
Good luck.
10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. They took 12, so that's 0, and then 2. And then, oh, okay, so they were at, so they're at 3. Oh, and then
Indian?
percentile dice. 6, 8, 10. Nope. Not what I wanted. Give me the other thing. Thank you. 4. Okay, so Vector and his excellent piloting and maneuverability swings in and fires off the gyro laser, causing 12 points of damage, or 8, 9, 10, yeah, 12 points of damage to the front arc of their ship and critically damaging their life support systems, which
Oh, gee whiz.
doesn't really help you guys in this particular. Look, there's a percentile chart. That's what I'm going off
Yeah.
of.
We hit what we hit.
I
Gooey.
assume I also hit.
Where's I didn't even see your roll.
Right underneath Vector.
Well, you're at 22 already, so yes, you hit as well. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeet.
10 extra points. So we're there. All right, now is their turn to shoot at you.
Yeet.
Forward. Oh. Okay.
And we're dead.
Wait, what's
Re-roll a
what's
ship.
the AC of your ship? I need to know some things.
14. It's 14.
Okay. That one actually missed.
Oh my god.
Just barely. And that one misses too.
Yay!
Yeah. Oh my god, it's like the opposite of last week where you just like critting. I was like,
They have a.
Non-stop.
I can't.
Only the first roll.
I'm not bullshitting. They have a plus 11 to their gunnery checks
And they whipped both of them? Jesus.
because it was a 2 and a 1.
I
Okay.
guess your little speech did fuck him up a little bit there.
So
Yeah.
that being
Totally
said,
taking credit for that.
you see 2 massive particle weapons charge up and fire at you, but Vector's insane piloting skill manages to avoid both shots as they come in. That being said, we are back to piloting checks from both teams. That would be Vector. Is Vector alive?
No.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's unfortunate for you.
Pilot's
You're
dead at
on,
the
you're on
wheel.
piloting time. Pilot check.
Okay.
Jettison the fucking canopy.
That lever was just always right there.
It
God, you just
really
wanted to
was.
grab it one time.
It was
Yeah.
bright red and shiny, and you're just like, yeah.
What's this
I'm not
do?
very good at these tricks.
Okay. I'm actually gonna need you to roll that again.
Okay.
Oh. Oh shit.
I don't know that one.
Okay. Like that was funny. I said I need you to roll that again. Somehow Alexa got her name out of that and goes, I don't know that one. So the stream probably heard that. You guys didn't hear shit.
Yeah, but dumb fucking Alexa.
It's the best.
Okay. So again, they went out on the piloting check. So wait, hang on. This is close. No, Vector, you went out on the piloting check. So
Hey.
they move first. They're kind of do this like sweeping maneuver to try and get you from the side. So they're gonna drop down there. Vector, you can now position the ship where you would like.
There's no
Move
reason
forward
for me
arc.
to not just face them. You don't really even need to move.
Yeah, I mean, by all means, face tank away, sir.
Yeet.
Barrel roll.
Hey, cool. 22 again.
So,
Gunnery stuff.
yep. So now we're back to gunnery. So go ahead and is that yours, Danny?
That's mine.
I want to.
Okay, we're pausing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yep. Sorry.
That's true because we did skip. We have skipped.
We got things we
Yeah.
can do too.
Yeah. So I want to encourage Vector
Oh.
into shooting this person full of holes.
Okay.
You
and-
want to give us a little speech?
Well, hold on. Let me read this real quick.
407 years ago.
I encourage another member of the crew to give her a bonus action. Works like aid another, granting a +2 bonus to the check required by the crew action if you succeed at a DC 10 check using the same skill.
If I get a +2, that means I literally can't miss.
Alternatively, you can grant the same bonus by succeeding at a diplomacy check. DC 15 plus your ship's tier. You can't encourage yourself.
So you have to roll a piloting check and beat a DC 10.
Okay.
Or if your diplomacy is so much better, you could beat a DC 15 on a diplomacy check. Oh, I'm sorry, 17.
That is a natural 20.
Yes, well that obviously works.
So Vector gets a +2 and a bonus action.
And a bonus action?
And a bonus
Shoot
action.
it again.
So could I just shoot? Yeah, I mean, like, there's all these piloting things, but I kind of feel like just I get such a bonus to shooting.
I would like to divert power to weapons.
Okay, wait, time out. I
Okay.
don't think they get a bonus action, Jodo. It just says give her a bonus to her action or to their
Oh,
action.
to her action.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
So-
you just get the +2.
So he gets a +2 to his
Yeah,
gunnery
I get
check.
a bonus +2 actions. So I get
Okay.
3 actions altogether. Okay.
Yeah, that's not very gender neutral.
So I've diverted power to weapons. Appear to be successful. It's DC 10 plus 2 times your starship's tier.
The starship
What is
tier
the tier?
is for the Sunrise Maiden is I believe it's a tier 2 ship. Is it?
Three?
Ooh, it's a tier 3 ship.
So 16.
It shows you the DC in the actions tab if you open that up. I didn't see that earlier.
Oh, it shows 14 there.
Yeah, I'm
What
pretty
about
sure we
Tiered
fucked it up.
wrong.
You
Either way, I
guys.
rolled 28. So
Okay, but what's the DC?
what? What?
What's the DC of the check? I'm sorry.
I've beating 10 plus 2 times your starship's tier, which in the action is 14, but I think it's actually 16 because our tier is 3.
Right.
But either way, I got 28.
Okay, so you're good
I
there.
think I'm good.
Yes.
So reading this, I think it's +2 bonus to weapon attempts for anyone who does so. So
Yeah.
their example is if you increase speed, or sorry, if you send it to science equipment, all science officers receive a +2 bonus to their actions this round. So I think if it goes to weapons, it's +2 to anyone firing weapons this round.
Engines.
So I get a +4 altogether then?
I think so.
Okay. There's also
And it also
the
should
also-
be GUI gets 2.
if you send If you send it to Starship's weapons, treat each damage die that rolls a 1 as having rolled a 2 instead.
Ah, there it is.
Okay.
So
Okay.
any ones count as 2s on your damage dice, but there's no plus to hit.
I couldn't find that line, but you're
It
right.
was right there.
Yay!
I didn't mean to say it that
I
way.
did that.
But it was, I turned the page already. But like,
Okay,
it's
so
fine.
I rolled the worst I could get, which is a 16.
Yeah, which still hits because with all the bonuses implied, you still their AC is 15. So go
it's-
ahead and roll damage for that weapon again.
It was 1d8, right?
Yes.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay, so that's the thing that's happening in the world.
I believe
Good roll.
Danny hit as well, right?
Yes, I did. I just haven't rolled damage.
Yeah,
yet.
so go ahead and roll damage. So that's 4,
And
5,
that
6,
one
7,
It's a 2.
8.
Yeah.
Whoa.
8. Okay. Now their turn to shoot at you. So there's 2 d20s there. That hits.
Weren't they supposed to shoot first because they
That
moved first?
also hits.
Oh.
It
Does it-
resolves at the same time.
Yeah, it resolves
It
at the same
does.
time. So I'm trying to keep things expedient. Is that the right word? I don't know. Those both hit.
No.
Quick, have Bob and Clank mod the weapon somehow. Spacewalk.
So you take 9 damage, which is enough to almost obliterate your front shield in the first volley.
Uh-huh.
And then
Guess I should start looking into these things for dodging and stuff now.
you
The
take
front shields are 6 now?
16 points of damage.
Oh, wow.
No, your front shields are now
Front shields are
0.
done.
And you have taken
one.
16
One.
points of damage.
16 on top of the 15 shields? Or 16 total?
Your front shields are. Oh no! Wait, I'm sorry. You have base 15. You have light 60
Yeah.
shields. So
Yeah.
you've taken 26 minus
Oh, wow.
15. Because you took 26 points of damage.
Yeah.
The
So we
first
got
15
11.
is absorbed by the shield. The
Yeah.
rest goes to damage toward your ship.
Yeah. So 11.
So you okay? It would actually be great if you could track your ship's hit points because I have enough crazy stuff going on.
Does this sheet not even let you do that?
Timothy, I'm trying.
What?
I'm trying. I'm also trying not to kill them.
He's yelling at
Nothing. I'm yelling at chat
No.
because someone wants me to murder you guys.
No,
Um,
no.
Because you have a critical threshold of 11 and you took more than 11 points of damage, so you take critical damage. So the way that works is we roll the dice and we see what
Uh-huh.
happens. So which I should at that rate and their damage, I should roll that for them as well. So let's roll it for both since
Alright.
somebody wants to keep us honest in here.
Hey, I'm okay with honest.
Yeah, we all know you are.
We all
so
know
that's so that's for you. So you're at 30. So that DC is 38, which weapons array.
Yep.
Randomly determine one arc weapon. Condition applies to all gunner actions using that weapon. A turret counts as being in an arc. So we'll roll a D4 and we'll determine that the front arc weapon is fuckered. To be
That's the
fair,
official term.
We're fucked.
hang on. Follow current actions on ships.
Oops. I don't want to do that. Nah. Windows, please.
Did we break the critical threshold for the enemy ship too?
I'm checking.
Okay.
Well, first I'm checking to see how far your system is
Thanks,
fucked.
Tim.
And then I'm gonna see how. No, it's the other way around. I want them to
Oh.
kill the enemy. So he is gunning for you guys. It just,
Thanks,
to be
Tim.
fair, he said that before I rolled the damage that happened to your ship.
That's true.
Okay,
At
so
least somebody's on our side.
if I'm reading this right, and by all means, Tim, if you know the system better than me, I'm all about getting advice. This is the first level of critical damage that this system has taken, so it is now glitching, and it receives a -2 penalty.
Makes sense.
Okay,
That
so you
being
can still use, but it's breaking.
and engineering, you can fix this
I
on
can
your
fix
turn.
that. But also shields, so I'll have to pick one.
Oh,
true.
he said that all the way back when Vector did 12 damage to with the first shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we rolled the critical on them.
Yeah.
That's when their life support exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I rolled it on them. I didn't roll it on the other one.
Right.
Oh yeah, and so the second time they also, but I don't know if you guys would know what happens necessarily to their ship.
No.
There's a
think-
large explosion on their ship in the aft section, relative to where Vector would recognize is like the engine bay, but you don't know the extent of the damage.
Mm.
Now, hang on, I gotta look at something real quick. Okay, let me roll a 20. Jodo, roll me an intimidate check.
Intimidating.
Nice.
Yay! No.
I tried. Okay, so moving forward, we go into another round of piloting checks.
And I have better intimidation than you.
I mean, I'm all
So,
broad, no brain.
Vector,
That
excellent.
looks scary though.
16 on the piloting.
Perfect.
Okay, they win the piloting initiative, so you move first.
Okay, I guess I don't
do
want us
a-
facing.
Do
forward.
180. Just do a 180.
Now, I will remind you, the ass end of your ship has a point defense weapon, but the keyword there is defense.
Yeah.
The flat cannon is not, it's meant for shooting down incoming projectiles, but not necessarily laser beams.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want the front. They destroyed our front shields. So I
Correct.
should-
You
I
do
should-
have lasers on both the port and starboard sides of the ship.
Okay, so I'm going to turn a random direction.
Alright.
And I am going to. Yeah, that'll be my
Well,
move.
real quick,
Port
our
side?
aft weapon does do more damage than our port and starboard.
So I'll try this again. The aft weapon is a
Alright,
point
alright.
defense weapon.
Yeah.
We can still shoot ships.
No, it does not have the range to shoot ships.
Mm.
That is not what its intended purpose is.
So I'll sit here because I'm not going to be the one firing this time.
Okay. They are going to.
I think engineering has to go before helm.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I don't remember, but yeah.
It's what the book says.
Okay.
Because I should.
Oh,
fix something.
it's captaining that can happen at any time. Sorry. Yeah.
Ah.
So yes, go ahead and roll your engineering checks. I roll
No.
engineering checks.
Oh, I also do a stunt which happens during the helm phase. I'm going to try to evade. Sounds like a thing that's
Stunty.
easy.
Sounds very stunty.
Cool. So I beat the DC of 14, which means we get +2 AC.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Nice.
I think we're also doing movement completely wrong, but I'm not gonna bother figuring it out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later.
Was our
I
plan
don't think we're
to-
that far off, but yeah, I know we're not doing it perfectly. But so
Is
long
there-
as both sides are doing it the same, I'm kind of okay with it.
Well, yeah, and I know that I'm just looking through the stunts, and there's specifically one for turning in place, which gives you like a -4 AC and a bunch of stuff. So it's like there's a lot more to move it, but I don't care what it is right now.
I just kind of assume that even though you're not moving the ship, that you're probably kind of like you're moving and turning at the same time.
Yeah.
But in an effort of trying to keep things simple on a small map so that people can see it,
I like it.
we're not moving things around crazily. Sorry, I interrupted.
Y'all
what do
just
you got?
overruled my whole damn turn.
No, I'm listening.
I know.
Oh,
I'm like, I'm gonna take a turn. No, I'm gonna take a turn. I was wanting to ask if you guys prefer if I fix shields or guns first.
Shields.
Shields.
Okie doke. That is a divert.
It
So,
is.
And I've already rolled for
roll.
my shot with the turret.
Nice.
Because it's a turret.
Engineering. Uh-oh. No, that doesn't beat. What did we say it was? 16?
Yeah,
Yeah.
last time we said it was 16. You're at 12. Do you get any ship bonuses? That's the last thing to
I
check.
don't know. How do I know that?
+2
Oh,
to
yeah.
computers.
It says plus 10 on my action table thingy.
Right, that's just
If
your.
that-
That's you though. That's your engineering check is a +10.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't get another
So,
+10 on top of
you
the +10.
don't-
That would be
That would be
stupid.
crazy.
Yeah.
I was like,
Now,
oh?
do 14. You can get to 15. That's as high as you can get.
With what?
And because you get the ship has a +2 computers. Oh, no, that wouldn't
Oh.
work. You could get
Yeah,
to
it's not
13
engineering. Yeah.
because there is a modifier for any check, so you can
Yeah,
use that +1 twice
And it, like,
per
spends it?
round.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm not gonna obviously
Yeah.
use that because it won't
Thank
help.
you, Chase Viking Games, for the follow. Hope you're enjoying
Womp womp.
watching whatever mess this is.
I think that's-
So you do
I
not
only
divert.
get one action, right?
Yeah, you only get one
Yeah.
shot, so you do not manage.
No.
The front shields just took so
They're
much
really
damage in
fucked
one
up.
round. They were not able to overcome. You weren't able to divert enough power there to get them to stabilize and recharge in this moment. So, that being said, we'll go to the damage phase. So, people, gunners, take your shots.
I did. I got 26. Oh,
Woo.
no.
So you do 6 damage. That's not my pin. I had a pin at one point. There we
Whose
go.
pen is it?
Yeah, I'm really curious now.
I have an
What
apple.
pen did you just
I
grab?
have a pin. There's like a whole other guy sitting here DMing another game in this corner of the room that you guys can't see.
Whoa.
So they take 6 damage from that vector. You are able, or anyone else technically, can make the shot for the left cannon.
Well, I could do that because I used my action to evade, right?
Oh yeah, because you used a stunt. Yeah. So, Hurricane, you're the only one. So in the in the chaos on board ship of a new starship, Ama is frantically typing in and trying to divert power. Vector is cranking and banking as hard as he can. The Yoseki is somewhere, probably in a turret-looking thing, because I don't know how these starship turrets work. Firing away. There is a chance for you to run over and man the port gun and fire at this Exonian ship.
Sure.
Trying not
I
to say
will
Necron.
do that. It is a piloting check, right?
It's piloting or gunnery, I think, right?
Range. I think you said. Because there's.
Uh,
No,
it's-
there is no gunnery.
Base attack bonus or piloting skill.
Base attack it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say your base attack is probably better.
Yeah.
50.
So I don't know how to roll just a base attack though.
Just double click.
Well, what's your base attack bonus? I mean, I can tell you here in a second. Your base attack bonus is 3.
Okay.
So you're at. So roll your d20.
D20 plus 3.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Do you have a dex bonus?
No.
Okay. Bonus from computer systems, which I believe is 2.
Puts me at a 15.
And that is it. So you're at a 15, and I believe their AC is 15.
Oh.
So you meet the check. You do damage.
Yeah.
Roll damage for that weapon. Do you know what the damage for that weapon is?
It was the port side weapon, whatever that was.
I know that. I was asking if you knew what dice to roll.
It is
2d4.
2d4.
And you do 5 points of damage.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Cheese Viking Gaming, is that like a mix between Minnesota and Wisconsin?
Ooh. I don't know how either of those teams did today, but the pack has been hurting this year, from what I've understood. With that, loud explosions happen.
Did I do a thing?
Didn't the
Loud
Bills kill it
explosions.
today?
I have no idea.
I think they did, actually.
If they did, it would be a fucking miracle.
Yeah, no, you should Google that, because I'm pretty sure they wrecked shop. So with that that last volley and some expert timing from the pilot and gunners and Hurricane at the last second running over being like, what do I do, hit the red button? He manages to fire the port lasers off just in time to clip the engine again of the Necron ship the Ixanian ship, and it immediately veers off and tries to disengage from you guys.
Fuck no.
Vector, you see this happening. It is your choice whether or not you wish to pursue.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can mess these guys up. Let's at least start with a piloting roll.
Also, I want to apologize to the Vikings fans in chat because I didn't know.
This is bad, right?
It was not good.
The problem is they can outrun us, but
Yeah, but we just like before
So,
they start
because
turning,
of,
we just light their
like-
fucking asses up.
So what I'm going to say is because they've taken so much damage and they are basically abandoning everything to try and run, this is an easily telegraphed move. Like you see this coming from a mile away. Now that being said, you have destroyed their front shields. However, they are no longer facing you. But if you wish to pursue, you can do so.
yeah,
So
I
they have
definitely
no force
want to do
field?
that.
Okay. No, they have no front shield.
Oh,
But now you're in their aft arc.
get in front of them, get in front.
Well, I rolled pretty high, so who goes first? Because if they do, then I get in front of them.
Also, do I get to try to fix the shields again?
will. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look at it from this point of view. If you make a, do you have to make a stunt check on top of your piloting check?
Eh? What?
I'm asking.
He's
I don't
asking.
know.
For what?
To do a stunt.
Stunts all have their own DC, and they're like the action that I do. So yes.
So
Yes.
I would say for this, what would this be? This would be more of, if you want to get in front of them, you would have to perform the flip and burn.
Ooh. I like it.
It sounds cool. So it's a
That
DC
probably is
15 plus
right.
2 times the ship's tier, which is 3.
The only other thing I was thinking of is flyby, but I think that's more complicated. I think you're right about flip and burn. And it gives me the DC on here. It says flip and burn is DC 19.
All right.
And I get a plus 13, so I will just roll my plus 13.
Okay. So with that, Vector just fucking throttle down and just shoots past this Ixanian ship, and then as soon as he gets out in front of it, flips and just drops to the back end, so that he is now like going full reverse. It's like the equivalent of like doing a 180 and putting it in reverse in a car chase. He has flipped
J-turn
this
that
ship.
shit.
He has flipped this ship on axis and has reversed all thrusters, so that he is now on this side of the Ixanian ship, going in reverse. Now, Victor, you realize that while this works and you have gotten here, this ship in forward thrust will just catch up with you in no time in reverse. But we're gonna say, due to the damage they've taken, that they're not gonna get, and their telegraphing of the just fucking bailing and running, that you guys are gonna go ahead and we're gonna just jump straight to gunnery this phase.
Yeah.
So
Pew 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 pew.
fire all the cannons.
I'm going to encourage. Does Alma still get her engineering?
That's what I
Yes.
have.
I'm going to
Sorry.
encourage Alma.
Okay.
Aw, thanks. I'm typing so fast.
Which is
I guess that's my
intimidate.
ability.
So it's a DC 10. Hey.
Wah, wah,
Yay.
wah, wah.
Better late than never. You're trying to be encouraging, however, not having a lot of camaraderie with this particular crew. Like,
We just met.
almost like, hey, it wasn't the
Type
worst thing
faster.
someone could have said to you.
More
Doing
typing.
my best.
And
I
with,
work best when angry.
I'm pretty sure with that you were able. I'm assuming. What are you doing? Diverting power.
Yeah, so it gives me, was it 5% shields back, I think?
Oh, you're diverting power to
5%.
shields.
5% of the PCU rating of the starship's power core. There.
Oh Jesus.
Jeez.
So much.
They can do math.
What the fuck is that?
It is a 150 PCU.
Where?
So 5%
Oh, I
of
see it.
150.
Yeah.
So whatever 5% of 150 is, because math.
7.5. So half our shields are back.
So you get half of your front arc. Oh no, wait. Well, you don't have any
There's
damage to
also-
any other arc, so it all
No.
goes to the front arc.
Yes, and there's also a set rate, like each round or something, the shields are supposed to come back up a little bit at a time, aren't they? So there should also be
The whole
something.
reason why I asked you guys to look into this stuff is so that I didn't have to try
I
and
know,
memorize
that's why
all of
I
it.
know that much.
What page? I mean, you point to it and I'll make it happen.
Page 302. Depends on the type of shield.
You are at light 60.
Da, da, da. Light 60. Regen 2 per minute. So it's
Probably
minute.
not quite there yet. Space combat,
like
I would
a
think.
round is less than a
Yeah.
minute, right? Yeah.
Well, like in regular combat, rounds take 6 seconds. I assume space combat takes a little longer than that.
Maybe 10 seconds.
But you're definitely not at 2 minutes yet.
Nope.
So with that said,
Good.
and Gooey, just moving forward, hold off on your damage or on your shooting rolls until we get to that phase, just so that if Jodo or Ama wants to boost something that affects you, we don't have to worry about it being kind of like meta.
Yeah.
So, all right, but he did roll an 11. Actually, wait, that might get there.
For what?
Gooey's roll was an 11,
Oh,
and that's plus his guttery skill. What's your dex bonus, Gooey?
Dex 3.
11, 12, 13, 14. If you use one of the ships plus 1 to any checks, you will hit.
Do it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay. You do that, roll damage. What are you, lighting incense, you fucking hippie?
No, it's Buffalo Trace candle.
oh thanks.
My room's going to smell like
Nothing like
fucking
smelling like you're drunk.
Smell
With
of
that-
buffalo.
Hey, it smells pretty fucking goddamn good.
Alright, so roll your damage.
Smells like whiskey.
And with that,
You tried.
you fire one shot that somehow manages to run right down the gullet of this thing. Kind of like, you know, the whole Luke in the
Mouse.
in
You
the
will
start
not
in
mouse.
the space destroyer.
Use wear shorts.
Yeah, the shorts was used, and that last volley of shots is enough to destroy the ship following you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what they get.
So,
Get out of here, skeletons.
roll me some computers checks, people that are in a position to do so.
Clack, 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 clack.
Am I in a position to do so?
Yes, as the
Probably.
pilot, you are.
Sweet.
The only person that really is
Literally
is
in a
Gooey.
position.
You are literally in the position to do that.
Oh, yeah.
so now the big question: how the fuck am I supposed to do that?
Computers.
I'm helping.
Just banging away at the fucking keyboard.
Miss Hoover, I don't have a red crayon.
The ship, Vector and Ama, on your screens, you notice that is the ship goes kind of like powered down for a second, and everything just kind of goes dead, like a silent running operation almost. Is when that last volley hits, and then a few moments pass, a good hard beat passes, and then all of a sudden there's just a massive explosion. One
Shit.
that, even though, like, you have to shield your eyes from the main view screen because it is just that bright. And the ship just incinerates. And there is nothing but mild debris left.
Just hearing from the gun turret. Fucking got him!
Got him! So,
I'm gonna yell back, can't loot them though.
Says you. Go for my fucking spacewalker shit.
We're leaving without you if you do that.
Quick,
I like that.
Scan for loot. Scan for loot.
there is,
There
I
has
mean,
to be some way
with
to
their
do
checks, that's fine. But roll.
There is a scan if I were to hop to the
Right,
science
no, but
officer.
yeah, as well, and anybody can do such a thing. But roll me. I guess in this case,
It would probably be me.
Gooey and Ama roll me culture checks.
Culture.
Yeah.
I'm not
Okay.
very
That's
cultured.
that's plenty.
Not
You
very
you
cultured.
both knowing that this is a corpse fleet ship operating illegally in packed space. The odds that they did not intentionally blow their ship up to prevent any part of it from being recognizable to pack command is slim to none. Like that explosion that you all just witnessed was not a one from malfunction. It was more of one from deliberate sabotage.
Fair enough.
So what you're saying is,
Damn
fuck
space
me and my
fans.
looting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to say that in a nice way. Yes, there is nothing identifiable left but scrap metal.
So mean.
Ratty McSticky Fingers, you get nothing.
At least it wasn't a trap.
Yeah.
Fair
Gonna
enough.
let you go to the ship first.
Gooey goes on a spacewalk, and the
And-
things that don't need to breathe in space kill him.
Whew.
I imagine they still get hurt by explosions and shit.
Oh, they're all dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it all looks vaporized. And while Exonians can maintain a little bit outside in the vacuum of space, they don't have to breathe, but they're still subject to temperature and freezing, so they would still
Like
freeze.
cartilage and shit.
Yeah.
And shrapnel.
With that being said, are you guys going to just continue on to Absalon Station?
Might as well.
I
I'm
mean-
going to go kick the box real quick. Go like, hey, we fucking destroyed my ship of your guys.
Sorry for the bumps.
We
Hope
gotta,
that was a good thing.
we gotta do some repairs now. So.
I'm sorry. Knock once if that was like, I don't care, or twice if like, why'd you do that?
You just hear like a bunch of knocking.
I think he just wants you to shut up.
You know, fine.
He's sleeping. Yeah, I'm gonna do some repair stuff while we head back.
Sure, it takes you. I mean, it roughly took you guys about 2 hours to get out there. It'll take you about 2 hours to get back.
Oh,
While
yeah.
we're doing that, I'm going to like throw some fucking batteries in my fucking portable generator and fucking do some cardio.
Oddly enough, there's a tech bay on this ship, so if you want to do so, you can, or you can just plug them into the ship's recharging station.
I will plug my battery in the ship recharging station.
There are proper rules for that, but I'll just let you guys know for right now. Like, it will take longer than what it will take you to get back to Absalon for them to charge.
Okay.
Just so you know,
Yeah,
it's only
Take
2
this
hours.
Charger.
It's only 2 hours, and Jodo's glove uses massive amounts of power.
there's a lot of punching.
Pistol batteries would be charged by the time you arrive in 2 hours. All right, so you guys continue on to Absalon Station. Vector, when you get close to the station, your comms panel starts to blink.
Beep, beep, beep. Hello? Hello,
Hello?
housekeeping.
Yes, is this the Sunrise Maiden? Are we getting that correct? There must be some kind of error.
Yes, this is the captain of the Sunrise Maiden.
I want to rename it to the taco stand.
Sorry, you must be mistaken. This is the taco stand, but it was formerly known as the Sunrise Maiden, yes.
Yes.
So that would mean...
Pizza Hut.
Yes. I assume that you'll want to be docking now. By all means, please proceed to docking bay 2.
Yes, 3 large pepperoni pizzas and a hang up. I dock at dock 2.
Okay.
Ask for docking bay 1. I bet it's cooler.
Oh, wait, I called them back.
Okay.
It's too late.
Okay. I mean,
Welcome
you can get station security back on the comms. That's fine.
I had diplomacy for
Oh.
docking bay 1.
Oh.
Yeah. You know what? You're absolutely right. I don't know what I was thinking. Docking Bay 1, of course, it's empty right now, and we will send everyone there. And he hangs up apologetically, even.
Sweet. I do a barrel roll right into docking bay.
Yeah, why not? I feel like
so we go forward into it, and then once I reach the back of it, people are like, "Oh no, it's gonna crash!" I do a flip and burn, and I reverse back into the spot.
I mean, we'll say you do some exquisite piloting maneuvers on your way inbound.
I would also like to point
Delicious.
out. I'd also like
This
to
is
point
how
out that
I crash into the station, guys. Good game. Have a good night.
I'd like to point out that as I was rolling that, it came very close to landing on a wall.
So you guys execute some excellent piloting maneuvers. Vector, as you're coming in, you notice on your comm screen where the port information for Absalon Station comes up, and where you would normally come up with your bill for docking and your fees for coming into port. It just said there's just zeros across the board. There's for whatever reason there's no charge for you to dock today, and you're allowed to come in.
Okay, guys, I tell everyone on the ship I have to collect their part of the docking. No, it's
roll. Okay.
I'm broke.
So, as you guys are pulling into Absalon Station, what you realize is there is a not small number of people that were probably right across at Docking Bay 2 that are now scurrying over to Docking Bay 1 with some commotion. And you're not really sure what's going on yet. But you do manage to come in, do your fancy flipping maneuvers, and dock the ship.
Cool.
It's real cool.
We have fans.
I think given the time, I got the shields back up, but to repair the hull, we have to be still.
Correct. Do you want to try to repair the hull?
I think we can probably make someone else do it for us.
Okay.
I'm going ready a frag grenade.
Oh, ready. I thought you said radio. I was like, why would you radio a frag grenade? It can't talk
No.
back.
Frag grenade, come in, please.
I don't know what's with that.
All right. So, you guys have pulled in. You've docked. You're in atmosphere and in the bay. Like the aft ladder comes. The aft Liberty ladder comes down off the ship. Memories. And you guys are able to disembark if you such. Is there anything you guys want to do before you get off the ship?
I don't think we need to do anything.
I want to lock this ship to my little personal data pad again, like I did with the other one.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the ship is now docked in Absalon Station under protection of Absalon Station security.
Yeah, but I'm paranoid.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, you can change the keys, so to speak, so that only your crew has access.
Before I get off the ship, I make sure to blare on the speakers our theme song and grandstand for our newly adoring fans.
All right, yeah, no worries. What are you guys doing with your cargo?
Taking it with us.
No.
No?
Keep it on board.
Locked in the.
Ends away.
Okay.
Yeah. Lock the
Locking
cargo.
it up.
What is your intent for? Are you still planning on taking it to?
Yeah.
Ambassador.
Wait
Okay,
for
I'm just
the crowd
checking.
to
Yeah.
disperse.
Yeah, no worries.
Seems like a bad time for it.
So
what's that thing again that they check all the
customs.
Yeah, that thing.
Speaking of customs, no, I'm kidding. As you guys depart the ship, it is uncannily like exactly what Vector describes. You have fans. You don't know why, but there are people there cheering and excited to see you. There are
Very
people
important.
holding pictures of Jodo's face saying,
Oh, no.
"We will not forget."
Oh,
Wait, how
Remember
did
the
they already
kids.
know? How the fuck did they already know?
Oh no, what's happened?
You can try and figure out if you want. if you want to try and
I'm gonna
figure
look
out,
around.
you should
I'm
maybe
looking
roll
above
culture
me.
checks.
More importantly, what is our theme song?
I was gonna let you guys get to that.
I'm looking around for like drones or something.
Yeah. So, Hurricane, not well. Yeah. So Hurricane is just completely taken aback by what's like. He doesn't understand what's going on here. So he immediately, on one of his forearms, pulls up his data pad and starts typing in, just like y'all's names because he knows them. And all of a sudden, a blip comes up on his data pad and on his display shows basically the entire adventure as recorded by the drone that has been following you this entire time has apparently been made public for everyone to see.
So it's
So-
also like showing off us destroying that fucking ship and everything.
Yeah, like the whole time, like up until just now landing. As a matter of fact, as you guys come in, a couple of other ships come in shortly behind you, who dock further down the line. But you can see chatter based on from news feeds of like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they're getting attacked. We're gonna go help." But you guys just didn't need the help. You took care of it in time. So they swung back around. So you definitely have what appear to be fans and people mourning the loss of poor Jodo on the asteroid, saying like, that one commercial was my favorite commercial that he was ever did.
Upon learning that my favorite D-list actor is dead, I immediately spike a wrench on the ground, just pissed. Fuck!
Hurricane realizing like, what? That was the guy? Gets just aggravated.
Damn it!
There is a crew of Yoseki that approach you guys, saying that are in obvious station attire, that say, "Hey, we know you got we saw that last fight, and we know the ship's kind of old, and you guys took some hits. It would be our honor to just patch this up for you guys. Like we can get you running."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Awesome. So
If it's free, it's for me.
they immediately get to work, and like 4 or 5 Yosoki just come out of nowhere.
Wait, they're better than goblins, right?
I
Yeah.
mean, you
To be fair,
assume.
I
Like-
think I'm better than the goblin at this point.
Hey,
You
what happened to
assume
those goblins?
I
they're
think Bob
better.
and Clank could oversee them.
Sure. So Amma, you can just turn and be like, "Yeah, that's fine, but you have to work with our onboard maintenance team."
Yeah, yeah.
And they just look at you kind of inquisitively, and then all of a sudden, Bob and Clank come down, but no one is like surprised because again, they saw the entire feed. They know Bob and Clank helped out. They're not these crazy goblins, and they just kind of go, "Oh yeah," and Bob and Clank, "Yeah, guys, like there's a lot of work to be done. This thing's in bad shape and it's kind of old, but we could use the help." And Bob and Clank just waved the Yoseki on board to start the repairs of the ship.
It's very important that you let them guide your repairs there, but there's only one very important rule, which is the goblins must never touch the core.
You're overseeing each
And-
other.
And
Before Bob walks off, I'm just going like, "Hey, sir, what's your guys' next plan? Going to stick with us or what?"
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, you guys got us off that ship, so I mean, we're grateful. We don't really have goblins aren't really known for our plans. We kind of just do. You got anything for us to do?
I think we can find some work for you.
I like these goblins.
You like making stuff. We need stuff.
Oh yeah,
I mean, we do make stuff.
Frank. I mean, we were talking about me making you a sandwich, or you look at my rifle, right?
And Clay, yeah, I can. I mean, I can do. Yeah, I can probably do that. We can.
Yep, doing it.
We can do. We can probably
Doing
make
it.
that work. So, Um, so with that, and Vector, as you are explaining the rules to the Yoseki of what is to happen, the one like the lead mechanic from the station just kind of gives you a nod, like, yeah, we understand. We won't let the goblins touch anything important.
A little tap on the nose.
Um, so as you guys proceed down further into the dock, this is where it gets kind of weird. So you guys are just mobbed with fans. Like there is just this cluster around you of people that want autographs and pictures and want you to confirm that the crazy conspiracy of space zombies invading from another planet to take over Absalon Station. And there's flashes going off in your face and you can't see. It's literal craziness. And how you guys want to deal with this is completely up to you.
It's true. All of it.
Okay, Star Wars.
I murdered thousands of zombies with my bare hands.
And you just kind of give them this flex in the armor, and there's like children that are just staring at you in awe, like they've just met the Hulk. Like this is just like, oh, I mean, why wouldn't he have? Like he's so strong.
They are not wrong.
So I'm just going to shout out signatures for $5.
Um, you get a couple takers, but you also get a lot of people that look at you like, yeah, that's something that Danny would say, and so it's kind of 50-50. You're definitely the anti-hero in this case, maybe.
All right, so how many take me up on it?
Danny Sticky Fingers.
You managed to acquire maybe 25 credits.
Taking it.
So, I hope Vector still trying. Are you guys just going to proceed toward the embassy now? You have the cargo on the hoverboards, and to be fair, no one's. There's been no scene of customs officials or anything like that.
Either way, I want to go back on the ship.
Okay.
Go into one of the bedrooms and use disguise.
Okay. What are you doing?
So just like doing a quick disguise, like so I can just like walk off the ship with the cargo and no one know who the fuck I am.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you're the hard part here is that you're a Yoseki and you went on the ship. Well, you have a Yoseki maintenance crew, so let's just say that you go on and you pay off the Yoseki the 25 credits you made from your autographs for him to give you his uniform, and then you come off the ship again with like just the Absalon Station maintenance gear with the crate behind you, and no one pays any attention.
Okay. Then I just take it to the colors, Necrons.
To the embassy.
Okay, yeah. You guys proceed, minus some flash photography and some crazy conspiracy theories. Some of them, like the zombie thing, was okay. Alien probing was a little more than what you guys wanted to talk about, so you kind of skirt those people, and head off, explaining that hey guys, we've got business to do, and aside from adoring fans and signs of Jodo will live on forever,
God damn
you
it.
guys, you guys make your way to Ambassador Nor's, well, to the embassy first. Upon arriving at the embassy with the crate, there is a few emissary. What am I going for here? Not receptionists, but they're the guards there. And again, the fact that everything's been made public, they know exactly who you are. But they do still stop you asking about the crate. It seems they don't have any knowledge of why you're delivering a package. So as you approach, one of them says, yeah, we figured you guys would be coming back soon, but you're going to have to tell us what's in the box. What's in the box?
Oh yeah, I'm just going to like reach in my back pocket, slap on a diplomatic envelope. Tag.
Yeah, there's actually one on the crate. But
well.
just as you approach, they couldn't see it because it was kind of toward the back. So you just kind of point them in the direction of the sticker. Our apologies. We weren't made aware, so we weren't expecting anything. But by all means, and they scan the crate, the tag on the back, there's just a kind of like a pleasant beep, not a pull the guns out beep, and you're allowed to pass through. You've been to Ambassador Nor's office before, but this time, as you're approaching his office, you see him actually approaching you in the hall, and is very pleased. He looks very pleased to see that you have cargo in tow.
I just whip out my data pad and it's like, sign here, sir.
And you just hear telepathically, yes, of course. Thank you so much for the extra work above and beyond what was required. That is very helpful for all of us. And you see him motion over to a couple of other individuals who you don't recognize, who are in kind of just, they're in uniforms, but nothing really distinctive about them. And they take the crate from you and down the hall in a way. And Ambassador Nor waves you. He's like, "Please come into my office. Let us talk of your adventure."
So did you sign for it?
Yes, he signs for it.
Fuck yeah, because I charged him $500 for shipping and delivery.
Well, it's okay because he told you
I
you're
have
going to
never
get
met this guy. So.
500 credits to begin with, so you're good. He waves it off as like, "Yeah, I was going to give him 500 credits." He signs the thing, and you're good. That was the deal. Do you guys go? Are you following him into the office?
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I said, I don't know this guy because I haven't met him. So
Right.
Dude, just come on, man. We're cool.
He
yeah, I'm just kind of following the group.
Upon entering into his office, you all take seats. And again, Hurricane, what you is new to you and is different is he is Exonian in nature, and he is communicating to everyone telepathically. He does not speak. You just hear the voice in your head and are able to reply as such. And he just says, "I know that we had the data recorder. That, to be fair, I made public so that no one had any concerns as to what may have transpired over there or thought anything. Well, just everything was above board, so to speak. There was a slight interruption in communication as you entered one of the cargo bays, but other than that, everything was streamed live to the people so that they would know exactly what is going on."
Oh yeah. The door like mysteriously closed for some reason.
Sometimes with these long-range communication sensors, things just happen. It's not necessarily bad, but things happen. And
Nudge.
what is
Nudge.
this guy's? I'm sorry, I'm trying to find this guy's name so I can give you guys the picture again. There he is. But again, I know that we had the live feed, but I just kind of wanted to hear it from you guys firsthand of how you felt about the experience. And then he stops as soon as that sentence, he kind of abruptly stops and looks directly at Hardicane. He's like, "Oh, apologies. By all means, you're welcome to stay here. I know vaguely about your dealings with astral extractions, but due to the fact that the others haven't killed you, I assume that everything is on the up and up, let's say. And you are more than welcome to stay and add to the debrief with what you know if you so choose."
Sure. Yeah. we decided not to kill each other. It was just one of those things.
It does seem mutually beneficial to everyone involved. So he basically just invites you guys to recount your tale of what has happened. So aside from like the official live stream, is there any specific details or questions that you want to ask?
I would like to point out that the will has granted us the Sunrise Maiden, the ship or whatever.
Yep, legally binding document.
Yeah. So if he could maybe help us with that, make sure it's registered in our names and all that.
And he looks. Gui, are you giving him the recording?
Yep.
Okay, so Gui sends over the recording to his computer terminal. He looks at it. He's like, it does seem to check out with everything that we know about the previous captain. She did disappear roughly 75 years ago. The logs date, everything checks. The ship is also 75 years older than most standard models today, so I don't really think anyone will dispute your claim, and everything does seem above board. Now, would you be able to also provide us the data that you recovered about the ship itself and the drift rock?
The ship itself should have data on that.
No,
plus
I'm
the
sorry.
ship.
The Acreon, the mission, not the Sunrise Maiden, but I know there was some data collected from the Acreon and the Drift Rock from some data terminals there. Can any of you
Oh, yeah,
give
I
that?
just point at Amma.
Yeah, I think Alma had that.
So, at this point, with all the craziness that has ensued, you realize that Amma is actually not in the room with you.
Where did she
With
go?
all of the crazy fanfare that had happened and the people following and interjecting, and just the sheer adrenaline rush of surviving being attacked by the corpse fleet, it would seem that she's not there. Everyone, roll me a perception check.
Is Vector there?
Yes, Vector is there. Danny, you're there, and Hardicane are all in the room.
We're all fucking blind.
Yeah. She's probably in the bathroom.
Danny, as you're looking around, and nothing is like it doesn't make sense. There's like you could swear she was right there,
Oh my god, she was a ghost the whole time.
and as you're going through, and this all happens kind of simultaneously after you transfer him the sheet for the Sunrise Maiden. You notice that there is another file on your data pad that wasn't there before, and upon accessing it is all of Amma's logs for all the data that she collected while both on the Acreon and the Drift Rock. You are now in possession of those.
Well, I'm going to slide that over to him, and I'm also going ping Amma.
Yeah, so you slide that over. He's great, we will get to work on these immediately. I'm sure that you all have questions. And he starts starts going through the data. And at that point, you ping Amma's communication. I'm assuming you're just trying to basically
FaceTime.
give her a ring, FaceTime her, and it's not a dead call, but there is no answer. It goes to voicemail, so to speak. It rings. There's a connection there. The communicator is online, but she does not answer. And with that,
Do I have the Find a Friend app?
roll me computers.
Can I also roll computers?
Sure.
Hey.
Not even gonna try.
Not even a
Minus
little
12.
bit. Computer wise, you guys are not able to locate any signature or trace of her. Just in the, I mean, again, you're trying to use a personal data pad to try and find her, and nothing's showing up. You're not really using specialized equipment, let's say.
I have an idea. The fucking drum was following us. Rewind to the moment we got the ship, and let's play like 2x2 till we got in the office.
Yeah, you can definitely replay data from the drone. I mean, you'd have to ask Ambassador Nor, but he seems confused as to why you don't realize that she's not there. He knew she wasn't there. That's why he was asking if someone else could give him the data. And there does seem to be a point during all the autographing and photography that's going on in which there is it and the drone kind of panning back and forth to make sure it's catching all the data it can. There is a shot of you guys, and as the drone pans away to look at GUI exiting the craft with nothing because the cargo had been edited out. And then as it pans back, Amma is just no longer in the screen.
Did Alma get kidnapped?
So, and Ambassador Noor is indifferent to all. Like, you guys are working on this while he's looking at it, and he just kind of, this is definitely some interesting stuff. Were you guys able to get to the depths of what all this is?
You mean the content of it?
Yeah, of the drift rock. Like, this is.
That's way too much for me, man.
So it's
It's a rock.
There's in not man-made, intellectually made structures within the rock.
Yes, that is true. This was definitely based off of the readings that I'm getting from the drone and the data collected from you. It does appear that this rock is a small, probably sheared off part of a much larger apparatus. Some of this technology is certainly alien in nature and not from here, but is definitely from an intelligent species.
Yeah, there was also like from the video the spooky go through the fucking walls, thingamajigger.
Yes, those creatures not completely uncommon in the void where this rock had come from, and had been traveling for some time. It is possible that the Gargatal decided to set up on this rock as its home in hopes to use it as a base of hunting, so to speak. They tend to kind of have a nest and travel out, but always returning to the same location.
But of course,
The fact that there was some life forms on the rock probably helps with that choice that it made. They do feed off of life energy, after all.
right?
Yeah, if you go back to that rock, you might want to send like a whole armed crew because we didn't actually kill it.
I mean, it's pretty fucked up, but dead it is not.
That is an excellent fact that I will make sure that we send the proper team to take care of any remaining threat that might be on the drift rock. Well, we did have an agreement that you would get 500 credits each upon returning the cargo to me. I thank you again. You do not understand the severity of how important that cargo was. And he then transfers everyone but Danny, because he assumes that he's already paid Danny. Everyone gets 500 credits.
Since Amma is not here,
Mm-hmm.
I assume she can't get the 500 credits?
Well, I mean, the wonderful world of the internet is he knows her information, and he can send the credits to her account because you guys got paid.
Okay. I just didn't
before
know if
you
it was
left.
like a
He
cred
just
stick
being
and
powdered.
yeah, because otherwise I was going to hold on to it. and get
E-banking,
those
yeah,
when we
sure
found
you
it.
were.
No,
And Hardicane, he looks at you and just said, I did allocate for a 4-man team and planned on a 4-man team returning. I suppose, since you did help in the returning of the cargo, that I could give you these 500 credits. Only seems fair. And so he also transfers 500 credits to Hardicane's account.
yeah.
So, question before we go, a question about the ship that we destroyed from your guys' bone fleet,
Corpse Fleet.
corpse fleet. What was that about?
I roll diplomacy.
Oh, that's gonna suck. Yup.
There's no recording of any kind of corpse fleet ship, it does seem that you guys came into contact with some kind of combatant out there on your return voyage. The data gets a little corrupt and grainy in there, so unfortunately I'm not sure what corpse fleet ship you're referring to, because obviously the corpse fleet is outlawed in the pack world, so there would be none of them here.
Well, of course, but how, man, maybe there might have been cameras like on that ship somehow that might have actually recorded it. I mean, we can dig through our stuff later on.
Are you trying to blackmail a man that's speaking to you with his mind?
Yep.
um, are you referring to like cameras on the Starship or
Yep.
on the Sunrise Maiden?
Yep.
Um, he just looks. He says, "You know, funny thing about Yoseki maintenance crews. They are excellent workers, but for a little bit of a bonus, can take care of any problems you may think or don't think that you have."
I'd just leave.
uh,
I was trying to figure out how I could intimidate him because that
Yeah,
admiral was way better than diplomacy.
he is an ambassador for an entire planet.
Which
You
has
are
its own fleet.
level 3. I don't know how to better explain that to you on your odds. Um,
Well,
so
at least I don't look like a fucking crystal skull.
Well, since Danny left,
Yeah, you got him.
and it's pretty much just me and Vector now.
sick burn.
Vector has to use the washroom, so he also leaves the room.
Okay,
Be right
Well,
back.
I guess I'm here.
At least I wasn't found
I'm
by
gonna
Indiana
ask.
Jones.
I'm gonna ask this guy. Hey, our friend is missing. Do you like maybe know anything about that, or like could help us find her? Like,
I
she
mean,
kind of helped me out a lot, and I feel like I should go find her.
there are obvious ways of locating someone on station. Uh, it doesn't really fall into Eoxian jurisdiction. I mean, if she were here in the embassy, we would obviously be able to locate her for you. I can assuredly tell you that we would obviously not keep your friend from you. So she is not on the premises. Outside of that, for us to interfere would kind of be bad for business, so to speak.
Fair enough.
I just stuck my head back in the room. It's like, hey, Kane, come on, we're gonna go talk to Mama.
Okay. Well, I guess we're done here. See ya. See ya, spooks.
All right. We are coming up on a solid 2 hours of the stream. And since Vector's already in the washroom and I need a refill on my drink, probably a good time to go ahead and take a 5 to 10 minute break.
Okay.
So with that, I will mute and pause video on the stream so that folks can also take a break and know when we come back and when the audio starts again. So let's pause all that. we're getting ready to get things started again. Oh, I'm talking to both you guys and them. Let me talk to stream for a second while we're giving a couple minutes. We've got our Canadian friends who are Amma and Vector have a puppy who causes problems sometimes. They're going to deal with that real quick, and we're going to get back started. I can bring the screen back up for you guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching the stream. I hope you're enjoying it. It is probably my second time GMing a game. It's my first time running Starfinder. It's also all the players' first time playing Starfinder. So there is certainly a learning curve, but it seems to be enjoyable thus far. We have a YouTube channel, which Jodo, if he's paying attention or listening in, which he probably isn't, may or may not throw to. But I can beat him up about it and say, hey, Jodo, throw the link to the YouTube thing and the thing with the place. And then he'll get on that because he is just the best mod in the world. So, if you have any questions on the stream, I'll try and answer them. I do try and focus mainly on the main screen, but Jodo and Gui are in chat and are fast to talk and respond to folks. And will yell at me if I need to answer something directly. I just don't want to try interrupt gameplay too much. But again, thanks for showing up. If you want to watch the old videos, there they are. You can link there and find all the old, the beginning of the Starfinder campaign. We have an Ebenclad campaign, which is a 5e campaign that is DM'd by a friend of mine where I play a player, so I get to screw up somebody else's plans for once. And there's also a one-shot that we almost got all the way through, in which it was something that I was testing to see if I ever wanted to try and run it at Gen Con or something for like a newbie type thing, which is kind of like an Amnesia campaign. And tonight's episode, the whole thing will be up. It normally goes up about an hour after we're done here. Worst case, it's up by tomorrow morning, and you can catch the whole thing from the beginning. So thanks again, and thanks again to the people that have donated a few bucks. And there's the fact that these are level 3 characters, so I decided to let people have the opportunity to not let them get murdered. The link is there, and you can see how you can help that. The main thing that does is allow them to basically take advantage of the lucky feat, which allows them to re-roll any d20 dice for any reason. If you donate $5 and put a comment as to who you want that to go to, you can do that. You could also, if you just want to be a total asshole, let me re-roll a d20 to try and murder them. That's completely acceptable to me. And any of the money that we get from the donations all goes back to pay for the Fantasy Grounds subscriptions and the Adventure Pass for Starfinder, and it just keeps everything rolling along. So I hope you enjoy it. By all means, if you feel like you need to help them because they need all the help they can get, go for it. If not, that's fine too. We're just trying to make a show that some folks might find enjoyable. So without further ado, let's get back into the mess. All right, so you have wrapped up your meeting with the ambassador. Vector has taken a step out to go visit the little android's room and may or may not be back sometime soon.
How does that work? Like, is just getting an oil change, or
like a Volvo, just all of it.
get a couple quarts to top.
Yeah. So, and your business with Ambassador Nor is concluded. So are you guys headed out?
Out of the embassy, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
You head out from the embassy and experience. I mean, no trouble. The guards all just give you kind of a nod of approval and thanks as you make your way back into Absalon Station proper, and you find yourselves in the eye district, so to speak, of Absalon Station with the community a buzz around you. There is still some. You still have some onlookers, some gawkers who take notice of you. People are mainly just minding their business, walking, but a few people stop and point and look at you, questioning, like, is that them? So
So while we're walking out, I'm just gonna like text Vector, gonna go see Mama, and head that way.
Who's Mama?
who's Mama?
Dude, Mama, the leader of the whatchamacallit gang.
Okay. I just want to make sure you had the right one. Mama. Oh, geez, what was Mama Fats? I think is her name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the leader
Joe's
by
former girlfriend.
Yeah, we gotta bring her sad news. I'm also gonna go and pick up some flowers on the way there.
flowers. Okay. So with that, you head toward. I'm trying to remember what side of the street she was on. That was the. Oh goodness, what was the name of that gang?
The 21st
Level 21 crew.
Yeah.
There we go.
Was
So
that them or the?
the downside. So there was the level 21 crew of the Downside Kings.
Yeah, the
Mama-
Downside Kings are the ones that we fucking murdered.
Yeah, Mama Fats was the one who ran the bodega grocery store
Yeah.
with the with the room in the back where the level 21 crew met.
Yeah. So we'll
So-
go see her.
okay, yeah. You guys make your way down to the level 21, and shortly after arrival, make your way to Mama Fat's bodega, grocery store, oil change, and tire rotation center. I mean, she just does a mixture of things.
Well, yeah. You gotta make your money somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So we walk inside. It's like, Mama, how you doing?
I don't think she had a voice. So she just,
No, I don't think she did.
hey, what are you guys doing back here? Is everything okay?
Wow, I got bad news, Mama.
I can't. A woman like me in her age can't take a whole lot of bad news. So I just really.
So I just pull out just a small bouquet of oh fuck, man.
Space flowers. Let's not get too
Yeah,
particular
sure.
here.
Just flowers.
Fine. I mean, a small bouquet of flowers like Joda didn't make it.
He didn't. Who's? Oh, the cute one. Well,
Yeah,
that's
the one you exchanged numbers with. You know that one.
that's well. I mean, Mama's old, but she's not done running. So, but
Nah, we got
he
you.
was.
Jesus.
He was cute. It's a shame, really. He was not. He was a good looker. It explains why he didn't return the call the other day, though. But I did see that. I mean, we all saw that he on the ship with the whole thing.
Yeah, he finally got some stardom.
It seems he did finally get some fame in the end. That is a wonderful thing.
Now they all know who he is.
Now they are. Everybody knows who Jonah is now, and he's not around to claim the glory.
But besides that, I was also coming by ask for your help real quick. Our friend Amma, she's kind of went missing.
I promise you, I've had nothing to do with her.
No,
going missing.
I would never pin anything on you, Mom. I'm just
Okay.
saying. I mean, you got your ears to the ground in the
I
streets.
I don't. I haven't heard anything. I mean, you guys haven't been back that long, but I don't know of any plan. Or I mean, I'm sure if you wanna, if you you could see if. Oh, hang on, I gotta get names again because I didn't create these people, so I don't know their names. You could see if Jabaxid in the back has heard anything, but as far, I mean, they do their thing, and I just run the store, so I don't really. I haven't seen anything.
Nah, so we're just gonna go ahead and back in there real quick. Thanks, Mama.
Yeah, sure. Knock. Always
Yep.
probably a good thing. So you head back and go to knock, and your hand just goes through the wall because it's hollow wall. And she just kind of has a chuckle. And Jabek's like, "Yeah, no, you can't knock on a hollow. Just oh god, come in."
Hey, it's been a long fucking day. Okay, thanks.
What sorcery is this?
Hurricane, you are kind of like, what is he? Why is the okay, and then it all kind of clicks of what's going on.
Not a smart man.
Vector walks through the front door of Mama Fats wearing a brand new cape. He says, "Hey guys, they sell capes down there. Have you guys checked out the cape shop?"
Do they have any sweet hats?
Oh, that's totally. We gotta go to the sweet hat
Alright.
and cape shop.
Before
Haberdashery?
we go anywhere
Wow.
else off the station, I'm buying a hat. But that is for later.
Okay.
I hope it's like a bowler hat or something.
No, it's gonna be a top hat.
You all arrive. Jabaxa doesn't seem typically any kind of surprise to see Hardicane there. Again, with the feed being public, everyone kind of also knows who you are and how you kind of slid in. They don't know all the backstory.
No, we're gonna keep that off the
yeah.
airwaves.
Yeah, some of that was that wasn't publicized, but just the general they know of you kind of thing. It's like, yeah, what can I do you guys for?
I was just coming to see, man. Just seeing how you guys got your ears on the ground, whatnot. Trying to look for Amma. She kind of went MIA on us.
You know, ears to the ground. Like if you weren't Yoseki, I would take that as an insight to some kind of racist thing. But I mean, I suppose you're not stupid enough to. Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
I don't remember what race he is.
He's Yoseki as well,
Oh.
which is the only reason why he let that slide. Yeah. I mean, you guys have been back for like what, 2 hours tops? I haven't heard anything in 2 hours.
I'm just saying you got people out there. Put a feeler out for us if you wouldn't mind.
Sure, yeah, we can. I mean, I can probably send a couple guys around. How in depth do you want this investigation to be?
Location.
And
that's
and
all.
by that I mean, how much money do you have to spend on this investigation?
I'll give you one cocoon.
Oh, yeah, that could do some damage. I mean that could be useful. Sure. Yeah, we can I can send a couple guys around to see if they can find anything. If they find anything, they'll come straight to you.
Got it. Thanks, brother.
Not a problem. Thank you. So deduct one cocoon
Yup.
from your inventory. If that's all you got, not to be rude, but we were kind of in the middle of something, and you didn't take notice before, but there are a couple other individuals in that room who look, a mixture of starstruck and perturbed that you just walked in and wanted to do business.
We are VIP.
But since Jabaxa kind of initiated the conversation with you guys, like they're letting it go because they assume that you have business and that you take priority.
Yeah.
So with that, you guys are
And walk on out.
able to leave.
Yep.
Is there anywhere else you guys wish to go immediately?
I think we should go back to where she went missing, and maybe look around and see if we can find anything.
Sure, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah,
On the way back, and by now, it's probably been to get to the embassy and recount this tales, and we're probably going on 5 or 6 hours, and you just haven't there's been silence. It's nothing has come through on where Amma might be, either from her or from you guys, psycho dialing her, or the Jabaxon's crew looking for her. Nothing has turned up anything.
Going to FaceTime her again.
And again, just rings and goes to nothingness. It goes to voicemail, basically. You do connect, and the communicator is online, but there is no response. There is, however, when you check your communicator, there is a message there from Chiskus. He is requesting you guys swing by the Starfinder Society as soon as possible in regards to some of the information that you've come across.
Okay. Oh, there.
So are we abandoning the search for Amma and heading to Chiskus now?
I'm not part of the Starfinders, so I don't
Nah. It's
Not
cool, man.
sure.
I got you. I vouch for you.
I don't think it works that way.
Well,
Don't
so
worry about it.
Hurricane, what you as far as like how the Starfinders work and concern are operated, um, it's not like you have to be a member to get in the door. So there's that. Like it's not like you're gonna be shot on sight of you're not a Starfinder, kind of thing. Um, it's not a military encampment.
Yeah.
It is literally the Explorers League. So
I'm
you're
just really wondering where Amma went because, like, we're down a person, and it's just one.
well,
of
that's
those
something that
things
you
where
need to
it's
sort out with your crew then.
Yeah.
Well, just this might also.
I
be
mean,
able
is
to
this
help
like an
us.
urgent request for us to get there?
He just said, kind of like, at your earliest convenience, please come by. I have some information.
Do you want
We could
us
probably-
split up and you can go deal with that, and then I'll go look around the ship?
Wait, hang on.
and
Let
see
me
if I
make
can
notes
figure it
here. Are we splitting the party? Hang on. I need a different sheet of paper for this.
out. I mean,
Don't
Let me-
split the party.
Let me try pinking her fucking her data pad again.
Yeah. I mean, you mean trying to communicate or locate?
Okay. Find a friend.
At a 19, still nothing.
So I'd probably need like a 50.
I mean, Amma was your computer's expert.
True.
she doesn't want to be found. Probably won't happen.
I don't know. You're just at a 19. You're unable to locate any trace of her at this point.
Is any of the crew members still around, or the repair guys around?
Yeah. I mean, because you guys were headed back that way to kind of look for any trace of her, and the Yusekis are still there. It's been a few hours, but they probably look like they're about 3/4 of the way through their repairs, being overseen by Bob and Clank appropriately.
I just like, hey, you guys see where fucking Alma went?
One of the Yuseki guys, who's which? Oh, Amma. Yeah, the chick, right? She, I mean, she was with you guys. Like, did you forget where you put her? Like, normally, that's not a thing that happens with people.
Oh yeah, because I keep her on a leash. She's the one that does that to people.
I thought we
just-
kept the goblins on the leash.
And then they say like looks at you with like, well, yeah, they're goblins. Like, I'm not gonna say anything out loud too loud like you hear, but like, I mean, goblins, right? So, I mean, that's not crazy. But yeah, so he's basically there's no useful information there.
Okay. No useful information.
Yeah, last time I guess time I saw her, she was walking off with you guys.
Uh,
I mean, she left. She's not here. She's not on the ship. She went. I mean, you guys all walked that way. She was walking that way. I don't know. I just assumed.
Oh shit. Well, where do you think we should go, Kane?
I mean, I'm not the smartest individual.
Vector, you're back, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
Oh. So you are there.
But still
Thanks for all your
equally as sick
input.
as before.
No worries. I just wanted to make sure that they knew you were back, so they weren't like
Yeah.
just talking you out of
You got any
everything.
fucking ideas where we should look?
I could take 20 on a computer check and get 27, but that would take all day.
Like she's in a hurry to get found.
It wouldn't. It doesn't take all day. It just takes about ridiculous. It takes a long time.
She
You're
either
taking a
doesn't want to
20.
be found, or she's dead in a gutter somewhere.
Because basically when you take 20 on something, you're brute forcing it. So you're going to fail multiple times. It would take you roughly probably 2 hours to gather any actionable intel.
Fuck it. As well. They got no
All right,
other
well,
leads.
if no one has better ideas, I think I might have the highest computer skill otherwise, so
What do you have?
Definitely.
+7.
Yeah, I got +5.
So hang on just a second here. I'm doing top secret communications between no one in particular.
Yeah.
I just assumed that you guys would have a better plan than my terrible plan. But so
I
I didn't
mean,
say
I
anything.
was gonna say go talk to Chiskus and like see if he had any fucking ideas.
I have the intelligence of a post. There are no ideas coming out of this other than punch it.
Check all the back alleys, but there's too many of those.
So, Vector, you get back into the ship's computer system because your data pad, even as an android, you're just not feeling like that's going to give you what you need.
Sure.
Because a couple people have already tried to locate Amma and failed to do so. So you're starting to get concerned for her well-being. So you go back onto the starship proper, where you have a more powerful computer, and spend roughly 2 hours going through just a stupid amount of footage from security cams on the system from Absalon Station, which you're able to do at a more rapid pace than most because you're an android. So it makes sense
Beep
that you'll
boop.
be able to beep boop your way through. You are
Yeah,
able...
one of those 20 checks I could re-roll.
You're able to see from certain things, certain cameras. Amma does in fact show up on. In the ones that she shows up on, there doesn't appear to be anyone with her. She appears to be, for as far as you can tell, by herself. She is not exactly. She's just kind of going about some business. It would seem there are a couple of shops that she kind of ducks into, and then you spot her kind of near the Starfinder Society, and then everything, and that's the last that you catch.
Well, guys, she's definitely a ghost. Forget you ever saw her. She never existed.
Through the security camera
Who gets her
footage.
stuff?
She never had stuff. She was a ghost.
She was a phantom this whole time.
Yeah.
There are shops that she definitely went inside of that, and you can identify those shops. You
right, well,
notice one is a basic, like a place that most Starfinders would visit in order to obtain kind of equipment and gear. There's one a bit more shady than some. And then again, she kind of travels back toward start the spire, where the Starfinder Society headquarters is. But you lose her. She doesn't go inside there. You just know that that's the direction of travel that she's last picked up on the cameras.
Okay, couple of questions. First, did she leave any of those stores with something she didn't have before that I can see?
Make a perception check.
Okie dokie. Big bong.
Yeah, so she definitely, like, I mean, she has her own packing gear and you know, equipment she carries around with her.
Yeah.
You're not exactly sure what's different, but you can certainly tell the way she's walking and the way she's carrying herself has changed after the visits. So it would be safe to assume that some kind of trade had happened inside.
Okay, and any shop in particular, or just...
Again, just kind of a generalized equipment store. Think like, just to make it easy, Big Joe's Guns.
Okay.
Big
Okay.
Joe's Guns and Equipment is one of them, and there's another place that she went into that doesn't really have a sign, but it is kind of in a seedier part of the district. So you're not sure what it does. What it do, but it is
what they do.
but it is there, and you'd be able to find it and locate it through the mapping systems of the station.
Yeah. I had another question, and I don't remember what it was, so let's just do that then.
Roll out, and if you remember it, go ahead. We'll just blame that one on the drugs, the perfectly legal drugs that he has a prescription for those watching on the internet.
But they're
Um,
weird Canadian drugs. Who knows what crazy stuff?
Tastes like maple syrup.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Okay, so what do you guys want to do now?
Go to that store with the name.
Without the
I
name or
want
with
to
the
go
name?
to a store with no name.
The one without the name, is that what you said? Hello,
Yes.
Gooey.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Takes roughly an hour or so probably to locate it because again, it's not really advertised, but there's some landmarks and you're able to kind of hunt it down. So it's getting into the evening at this point. And you find the not exactly back alley, but certainly not well reputable advertised storefront. There's mainly just a door with a light. And you come, and that's what you see as you kind of get down. And Vector, you're able to identify as like, yeah, this is the building that she went into.
Hey guys, this is the building that she went into.
Oh, let's go into
You could
it.
give me a little bit more than that.
I am just following the group.
Yeah, get the strong one to go in and be intimidating.
All right, Hurricane, they're letting you lead the charge. So what do you do?
Oh Christ! Is the door open or closed?
It's not locked, but it's closed.
All right. Well, I'm gonna very, very strongly just start knocking on this door. Just do 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 do.
Dancing it.
Sure. It takes a second, but you hear someone in the back like, "For the love of all things, could you stop being so loud? Just give me a second." And you hear some rattlings of metals and things, and then the door swings open. Before you see a man. Well, it's definitely a human, though at first glance, like it takes you a second to get to that point. They are highly augmented, let's say. They don't have all their original parts. There is a cybernetic arm involved. They are no longer bipedal, but are more. They have more of like an arachnid 4-point stance going on to get through, though on a narrow frame. But
Cyberpunk 2077 warning. Spoilers.
what?
No, never mind. I was going somewhere with that, but I lost track.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for the rabbit hole. So what do you want? I mean, how can I help you? That's the right thing to say. How can I help you?
We're looking for our friend. She stopped by here earlier today. We assume she bought something. Have you seen her, and do you know where she might have gone?
I'd like duck underneath one of his arms and just like with my data pad, just like show on his face.
Yeah, never seen her. Can't help you.
What you want to try that again before the big fella here fucking rips you apart with like 3 of his arms?
Roll an intimidation
I
check.
feel like you're giving me a lot of credit.
I got better intimidation. No.
All right, well, I'm gonna flex at him a little bit.
It's not enough. So the way aiding works in this game is you basically give a person a +2. So Chodo rolled high enough and gave a +2, but that's anyway. Just so you know how that works.
Okay.
He looks at the Mao Joseki, and you see the cybernetic arm just kind of do, for lack of a better phrase, a cyborg type thing, where fist goes back and barrel comes out. And he's like, "Hey, look, I don't know what to tell you other than I didn't see her. Now, if you've got a problem with what you think I did or did not see, it sounds like it's your problem."
So I just like the video. Well, fuck.
Are we gonna murder a shopkeeper to find our wayward healer?
Hey, free fucking loot. That's all I'm gonna say.
You want to rob the man too?
He ain't gonna need it in the afterlife. So,
how strong does this dude look?
One of his arms is cybernetic.
Mhm.
He is on 4 mechanical legs. One of his arms is human. He has a obvious visual augmentation as well. You would gather based off of things and where you are that he is obviously one of the people of society who prefers cybernetics and augmentations to what they were, with what they were born with, so to speak. So roll a culture check.
Ooh.
Oh my god! All right. Uh,
Like a post.
you've seen people, Hurricane. You've seen people like this. You know better than to necessarily underestimate them based off of what you can immediately see from them.
Okay. I clearly would not trust this person.
No, you would not. That is obvious.
Yeah.
Look, man. We got fucking video footage of her coming into your fucking store. You can either tell us what she fucking bought and where the fuck she might have lived, or yeah.
Can I tell that he's lying or anything?
And you just hear this, like, as soon as you get the or yeah out, there's like this, and you hear a power source pull up. I don't. Maybe you guys are new here. There is a way upon which some of us do business in which that my clientele is private. They pay for privacy. If I tell you guys who may or may not have shown up here in the past 48 hours, that could be detrimental to my business. I'm not about to risk my business for four strangers. I don't care what the rest of the station thinks of you guys.
What if we were to give you business in return?
Oh, well, I mean, it would. That's not necessarily an impossible trade. It's a little bit easier to pallet. I mean, I, I don't think, I don't
What
know
if
if
we
you.
gave you 2 goblins?
We're not selling Little Green and Big Green.
Look, man, I don't know how you androids do business, but I'm not in the business of human and or goblin trafficking. That's not my
I
thing.
shrug your loss.
It's probably a game, really.
Yeah.
If you guys want to do business here, that's on you. I mean, roll diplomacy, party.
Fuck.
I mean, yeah, sorry, but
Fuck.
it's still diplomacy.
Nope.
If you guys want to do business here, that's of your own accord. But I make my living off of keeping my clientele quiet when they want to not be found. Like if they tell me like don't tell anybody, and nothing's coming out of my lips. That's how I make my money.
So she told you not to tell us. or
I don't
anybody
know
where
who
she
you're
works.
even talking about.
And what business is it that you do here that I would be interested in buying?
I mean, if you were just a regular person who was maybe pointed to me and didn't know what I did for a living, this I do this, and he kind of just motions to yeah. Uh, my job is cybernetics and technomancy augmentations. That's what I do. We don't really put a sign up because some people get a little touchy about it, but the people that come here know what they're coming here for.
Oh fucking Christ! All right, $400, man. Come on.
I mean, we got like some armor spare slots back if you need something. I don't know what you're. Again, I'm. I don't know who you think you're looking for, and 400 credits is definitely is. He is visibly kind of almost laughing at the small paltry sum of money you are trying to pay him off with. He's laughing, and then there's this look of almost like insultedness at the end.
Really, just want to like grab a frag, just like throw it and just book it.
You can certainly try.
I don't think that's a good idea. So we don't know that she was here, even though we do know. And she was last seen over by the Starfinder headquarters.
In that
What do you mean?
area, yes.
All I know is at this point it seems like she didn't want to be found.
Yeah, it seems kind of weird.
So maybe let's just continue about our day.
Yeah, let's go to the Starfinder because we have to go in that direction anyway. So we'll stop, talk to the dude,
All right. Yeah.
and then we'll continue afterwards.
Like, hey, if you do change your mind and want some services, like I'm here to help. But again, I apologize that and you hear the barrel power down and spool down. Not quite sure the exact nature of said weapon, but our Hurricane, being the warrior that you are relatively grateful that it didn't go off because of proximity.
I may have had a good idea. Makes shooties.
And at this point, by the time it's taking you to track down this spot location, landed. You didn't land at 7 in the morning, so it is getting of an evening now. As you exit this shop, is later in the day than what you would assume would be an appropriate time to approach the Starfinder Society for business.
Is there any hotels or whatever, like places where we can rest near the Starfinders?
We got a hotel. You can just have Jodo's old room.
That's so fucked up.
That is fucked up. I would love to stay in a D-list celebrity's room.
Yeah, actually,
Sorry, paid for.
Realistically, Hardicane, you're actually kind of excited to sleep in your favorite commercial heroes previous room.
It was in my notes for a long time. It was my favorite.
So I'm trying to remember the name of that place. Moon something. But you make your way back to where you had previously set up accommodations. You guys should have. I feel like I should need to start forcing you guys to take notes too, so that I don't have to
probably
remember everything. Yeah, sure. What was the name of the place you guys stayed at last?
Super 7.
It wasn't that.
Holiday Inn.
I'll look at. I'll dig it out of the storyline later. But you make your way back to the station, the hotel or what have you.
Station
the
Sleepy.
The lodging that you had previously acquired before you left. You'd paid in advance for a week, though you're probably getting to the end of that week based on how long it took you. Everything's okay. But Hardicane, you don't have a room there, so that's something that you're gonna have to deal with.
I was like, I just talked to the manager. It's like, hey,
just say your name's
Jonas,
Ama.
Jonas said he could use his room while he's gone permanently.
Let's go. Yes, and seeing how that the lodging manager it gets a majority of their business from the Starfinder Society, and seeing as how everything was publicly transmitted to the station, they kind of give a solemn nod of of course, we're sorry to hear about the passing of your friend, and temporarily can extend his room to your new acquaintance until things get sorted out further.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks.
So you all have your rooms in which you can go to and crash out for the night. Is that what everybody's doing?
I'm gonna do that and also recharge my batteries and weapons.
Sure. Yeah. You're able to set those up overnight to recharge at the stations. That'll be probably 10 credits or so.
Okay.
You're getting a temporary Starfinder discount. Trading on Jodo's name right now.
That's right. I'm living on someone else's name.
Yeah. So is everyone just calling it quits for the night then and taking a solid 8 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
We'll check it out in the morning. Do we gain back any wounds or anything?
You get here. I'll hit the button. Hang on, let me delete that thing. Okay, there are 4 of you. There's a rest button and overnight rest.
Yeah.
So you get all of that back. So Hardicane, due to the amount of damage you took, and remember, hit point damage works differently in this game.
Yeah.
You are still somewhat wounded.
Yes.
Because stamina is what keeps you going. Wounds, like in real life, take a little bit more time to heal.
Yeah, but I'm looking better.
Yes. You're a little achy. There's still some open wound bits on the flesh and torso. But for the most part, you're feeling okay.
Okay.
You're definitely feeling better than when you went to sleep. So at that point, you wake up to a fresh new morning, a fresh new start.
Yeah.
Where do you guys want to head up? What do you guys want to do first?
Starfinder.
Yeah, let's go to the Starfinders. Because, damn it, I need to find my healer.
Everybody. Oh wait, hang on. Actionable stuff. What? Really, EQ? I haven't ate dinner yet. That's not fair.
You bitch.
We can take a break for eating dinner.
No. Because we have to find her fucking ass. That's like that 35 around here.
So, everybody, well, not Alma, but
Clap your
everyone,
hands.
roll me perception checks when you're kind of walking back down to the lobby.
I'm blind.
Got it. Okay.
Perfect.
Really? Can't even. Even when I try, I fail. What?
I got 15.
Oh, how did you? I'm sorry, I didn't see that. I just assumed you rolled terribly like everyone else.
Oh, fuck you then.
It would have been a safe bet.
Upon
You know what? Well, fuck this. I'm out.
fuck this shit, I'm out. All right. As everyone gets up and ready for the evening, your rooms were all blocked and booked together, so you're all in a row, kind of in this one wing of the hallway of the lodge. And as you go down the hallway, there is noise coming from Ama's room.
Aw, yeah. I'm going full yeet.
Danny, you notice the noise. Nobody else does.
So my supersonic mouse ears are like, oh shit. Hey, Kane, you want to go check that Alma's room real quick?
Which one's Alma's room?
I just point down the hallway.
I guess I will approach the door and... Is it locked?
Oh my god, there's a dog inside. Hey, no.
There's a small beast inside.
That's it. That's getting clobbered.
Take your time with my door. I'm gonna take her outside.
Okay.
Okay.
To be fair, I was going to take the time with the door anyway. Danny, as you approach the door, you hear what sounds like some. There's some kind of machine, not like heavy machinery, but there are mechanical devices. You can hear motors whirring, kind of thing, on the other side of the door, and that's what aroused your attention. Because it's obviously not common for that noise to be in the middle of a hallway.
Hey, big guy, you wanna knock on the door?
Is that like... Are you saying like
Yes.
actually knock, or do you
Fucking
want me
say-
to like knock this door in?
Open the fucking door.
All right, I guess I will open the door.
You reach down to open the door. The door is locked. No, I'm making you go all the way through this. if you're gonna
Like I
commit
said,
breaking
open
and
the
entering,
door.
I'm gonna make you do it.
I am not very confident in my computers or hacking skills. How much roughly is this door gonna cost to repair?
Should I try hacking it?
Yeah, I forgot about you.
Because I will fireman boot this door open.
Maybe speak up a little bit more there, Vector.
I'll do what I want. Do what I want.
Roll a computer check for me.
This is just like a standard lock, right? Nothing fancy about it.
Correct. It does not appear to be anything fancy.
It might make sense for me to take 10.
Oh, wait. Never mind. It's thought it's like electronical. I mean, if it's
I mean,
that
it's
sleight
a
of hand,
it's
you
a.
know.
I mean, there's a key card that activates the lock.
Okay, well. Danny did it, so there you go.
So no one else is trying, just Danny. I'm just making sure we get this straight off the beginning.
Nope. I am the brute force. I am
Uh,
option C.
Danny, Danny, you spend some time, and you sleight of hand. No, it's not sleight of hand. It's still
You
computers.
said like a regular fucking lock.
No, I said it's, but it's still. I said it's a
Still a key
regular
card.
key card
said that after I
controlled
rolled.
lock. No, motherfucker, it's the future.
Oh.
There's no key. There's no tumbler here.
You don't know.
All right, Danny, as you're using your operative skills to try and get through this door, something's not quite right. It appears that there is at least one added layer of security that you can see with your computer's check, to where it's not quite, you're not able to unlock it. But you do know that this is not normal. Like, you have enough skills to where you should have been able to pop this.
Well, this is fucked up. I try it one more time.
That's not a
Okay.
thing.
Fine.
It's assumed that you tried multiple times to do it and you fail.
Vector, you want to give it a go?
We're on to plan B. We're getting close.
Yeah, sure.
Very
Sorry,
much.
what's the role? I'm busy trying to adopt
Computers.
Computer. Cool. Whatever. Nailed it.
Vector, you watching Danny attempt and fail, ask him to step aside. Like, I've got this as the android. Like, I don't know. I feel like there should be like a go-go gadget thing where the finger like pivots and you stick your finger in the lock. It is, and Danny tells you kind of when you feel like, you know, hey, this is a little like, this doesn't make sense. Like, you can get that from him. So you're like, I got this. I'm an android, and you go about it. Danny's attempt was deceiving. This is more difficult than what he led you to believe. For whatever reason, it is like this thing is almost locked out. It's not so much that there's extra security preventing it from being unlocked, as that it's just set to just straight not unlock.
Well, plan C.
All right.
I just want to be clear. There was a DC set on this before you guys attempted. I'm not just pulling this out of my ass.
Well, with a ringing cry of "Where's my friend?" I'm booting the fuck out of this door.
Like, with the fist, or like, are we using weapons or are we not using weapons?
Oh, I'm hitting it with the fist.
Okay. Roll an attack against. Well, just roll an attack, because not that it fucking matters, because you get +9 now.
Is it just the attack, or do you want the damage?
I mean, you have to technically roll the attack because you can't, in case you roll a 1. I don't know why you roll. Oh, you're going full attack.
Oh, full.
Okay.
There is no pussyfoot in here.
All right, roll damage for both. So as Danny and Vector attempt to try and figure out this lock that is obviously perplexing both of them for whatever reason, Hardicane, you just get upset at the fact that this is taking way longer, and you've sized up this door, and it's like, this is a hotel room door. I can get through this at any time. You have 4 arms. Like, this is not something unbeknownst to you. And as Vector turns around and goes like, I don't know, guys, something just isn't quite. You just, Vector, this fist just goes like right by your face as you're still kind of
I
kneeled
believe
down.
my exact words were looking directly at Hardicane and saying, "Plan C."
Yeah. before, good point.
Done.
Good point. Apologies. As soon as you say "C," the fist just comes in. Like Hurricane's just been kind of sitting back there, pumping himself up. Like, oh man, I hope we get to see. I hope we get to see. And you said "C," it just. And on the second hit, the door just flies open. The mechanical lock completely destroyed. What you guys see when the door opens is the same room that everybody has. There's just a standard, data terminal, and there's a closet and the bed that everybody has. And Amma is laying on said bed, but there are multiple mechanical slash what in Starfinder is called hybrid, which is a mix of a mechanically engineered and magical device. Those are called hybrid devices. Hooked up to her, like the full way through. Like think like weird Cortex helmet thing on her head, and random kind of probably needles in the arms, and data. Just it's weird. Like it's nothing any of you have ever seen before.
I was into some weird shit.
So, my question is this. I have now gone full yeet.
You have.
Does it look like these things are hurting her because full yeet does not stop? I am a very simple man. I need my healer.
I feel like we should do 10 and under, 10 and over on this.
Is that like
on a D20 dice?
check?
No, I think we just need to roll a D20. I think you need to roll a D20, and 10 or less, you believe it's hurting her, and 10 and over.
Oh.
Okay, so
Oh my god.
so there is a beat when you get through the door, because you just come in guns blazing. You're not sure what's going on. You just heard Plan C's go.
I was ready to rip this fucking room apart.
Right, and you get in there and you see it. And all these machines are going, but in the split second before you just start ripping things off of her body, you realize, like, she doesn't look like she's in pain. Vector, roll me a computers check. Vector, as an android, you're able to quickly identify the random components and are roughly able to make, like, you understand that while you don't exactly know what might be going on.
Is it a starship? Because then it's minus 5 DC.
No, she is not a starship.
Is she a hotshot pilot?
No, she's also not a pilot.
Just checking.
But you can that is y'all's business. Potato, but anyway, there's you can recognize, whereas you don't know what the entire ensemble is together, you're able to kind of recognize individual components and how they interface with the human body, and are able to discern very quickly that none of it should be causing her any harm. You also, if you choose, know how to shut it off.
That is not me. I'm just like,
Oh,
I mean, I know how to shut it
EQ,
off.
I'm sorry. I literally just caught what you sent, because I only have so much space on my computer screen.
Okay.
So I hope this is okay. Okay.
I would like to know what it is actually doing before I just shut it off.
You don't know. It is in no way any kind of life support system, but you're not quite sure in concert what all the devices are doing. But again, it's nothing like a life support system. It's certainly not sustaining her in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but I want to turn it off and then she forgets math or something.
I out of character. I think I know what this is. I'm trying to.
It's chemo.
Oh, jeez.
It's not a tumor. So while you guys are all kind of hovered around Amma, trying to figure out
I
what's
poke her
going
with a
on,
stick.
and she dies. There's
It was chemo.
there is there's a moment where the devices all seem to be spooling down from what they were doing, and at that point in time, another beast enters the room. Apparently,
That's my guard door.
and Amma, you come back to consciousness after roughly 24 hours of not being around with the know what the fuck's going on in the world, and just see three individuals standing over you, looking quizzically. Hurricane is probably like semi about to attack, like not sure what he wants to do.
I'm like, oh, space Jesus! I locked the door.
Sorry, I broke your door.
You broke
And
the
you-
door.
And you forgot to send us a memo about you, like, I don't know, wandering off before we were about to go to the embassy to finish our fucking mission.
In my defense,
well.
For the record, I was just gonna leave you and move on, but
I put all the pertinent data in your data pad. You didn't need me. Thought you'd go shopping or something.
I whipped my cape.
No, see, Vector knows what's up.
There was a cape.
Hey, there's capes.
in my
Yeah, and
defense,
hats.
I did try to
Okay.
let them open the door first, and then I opened the door.
That's fair. That's fair. I guess I owe you guys an explanation.
I mean, a little bit.
So.
I mean, I don't need to know too much about your
Oh, okay.
your kinks.
Get out of my room then.
I like how the two people that are married are like, nah, fuck this bitch, I'm out.
Just close the door behind you. Oh wait.
Oh wait. So I got real close with Jodo in the short time that I knew him, and my whole life I wanted to be a scientist. And during that battle and all that situation, I just felt so helpless, and it destroyed me that I couldn't keep him alive. Um,
He was a shitty actor, anyways.
You shut your mouth. Fucking punch him.
It's like both of you had those lines queued up. Like, that was quick.
That's beautiful. So I thought I needed to help you guys more. I needed to know how to keep you alive if we're gonna be Starfinders and getting into trouble like this again.
And the best way to do that is to abandon us with no word.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. It was hard to talk about, okay? Get out of
Let's
my
see.
room.
Let's, Vector, make a computers check for me.
Do no
And
computers.
everyone else make perception checks.
Yay.
Okay.
Now we roll.
Yeah, right.
I have to find the name of the thing again. Because it's a weird name. And I'm going to say it wrong. Vector, upon after listening to Amma talk about the situation and what happened, things kind of start to click for you. Though you've never seen, yeah, a little bit. I mean, a little.
They do, just listen.
God damn, man, I'm trying to keep the storyline going. Okay, you've never seen one before in person, but you do know that there are devices out there that are able to kind of retrain the mind and body in accordance with one's wishes to a degree. They don't, they can't just rewrite all of your history, but you're able to kind of edit certain things.
At this point, I want to look at Vector and say, I forgot math.
I never knew it, so it's okay.
For the rest of you, you notice that whereas you're still looking at Amma, there's kind of this residual energy that wasn't there before. You're not sure if it was caused by whatever she's been hooked up to, or perhaps it's some newfound, meditation she's doing. To be fair, none of you have been in her room after hours, so maybe this is just what happens when she wakes up. But she appears different. She has a different kind of aura, or to her. Not an actual aura, but just like there's a perceived difference. You can tell something's a bit different. That's all.
Oh shit, she's the final boss.
Oh god, she's mind controlled. Yeet!
So she's level 20 now, right?
I mean, not exactly, but there's So I don't want to give anything away. So it's EQ. It's complete open. I don't know what you want to hold back or what you want to talk about, but you're out of character. You can fill them in as much as you want to. Now.
Out of character, it's easier to explain because in character,
Right.
it's kind of hard
Very
to describe.
difficult. Yeah.
But I was Technomancer multi-classed with Mystic. I'm now full Mystic.
That's what.
The book allows for a device called a mnemonic, and I'm just going through this for stream-wise, or if anybody's confused
Oh,
or
that's
want to
why
see
you
it.
mentioned to me.
There is yes, and it's the reason why we kicked you out of the chat room the other day, because we wanted this to kind of be an interesting story development. There's a device called a mnemonic editor that allows a person to erase up to 2 levels of their character sheet and retrain in whatever they want if the DM authorizes it. Since no one's played Starfinder before, and almost everybody picked a utility class, and I didn't know that ahead of time. Jodo dying allowed you to get more of a tank type character, and Amma doing this allows you to have more of a healer type character, so you're a little more well-rounded.
In case you didn't notice from Bob and Clank, I get attached to people really quickly. So
Yeah.
it really broke my heart when Jodo died.
Yeah, so we use the trauma from Jodo dying as a reason for Amma.
I can tell from the funeral.
Shoot him in the face.
Just get rid of the body. Fuck it.
So
I mean, I only kicked him out of the space.
in game, you obviously don't know that. I mean, no one has classes and whatnot, but
Yeah.
like I said, you just notice there's something different about her and how she presents herself. But that being said, Amma, you are alive and well and awake. The devices, plural, that were hooked up to you come
my
to a
God.
halt and are kind of rendered inert and fall lifeless off of you as you're able to now sit up and move
Wouldn't it be
around.
funny if I had turned it off and you had lost a level?
Oh man.
Error.
I
Well,
mean, I was gonna go in swinging, so.
So like there was like that. Woo!
I'm pretty sure this is a rental, so I gotta give it back.
About that time, you guys have all, yay, Amma's not dead. You hear footsteps at a quick pace, oddly enough, as someone comes running up to the room and like, is everybody okay? There was a loud thud. Someone thought, oh. And as they approach the room, they see that the frame is just busted off the hinge. And all of you are just inside chatting. So
I'm like, I would like to lodge a complaint. I need a new room, please.
Door got stuck.
Somebody broke the door.
I feel like, I mean, of course we can find you new accommodations, but you will have to pay for the replacement of the door. I just don't see a way around that.
I'm sure they got cheap doors at Goodwill.
These are not
Well, Hardy
cheap
can get your wallet.
doors.
How much is the door?
I said if it was a custom and the fans to keep it. Well, you're probably looking at I don't know. No one's ever just broke a door off the frame before. But 300 credits should cover the damages.
Okay. I broke it. I'll do the right thing.
And then
I was worried.
and then you hand over 350 credits to the person because you don't do math, and they're like, "No, here, this is too much."
Okay, thank you.
With that, you are a fully reunited party. Congratulations.
Oh.
Well, now that you're
I
fucking
step up for
done,
a second to go buy another cape. Be right back.
I guess we can now just go wander on down to the Starfinder office.
hmm
Sure, yeah.
Oh, Jesse, I think you gotta crack open my.
Oh, yeah, we need to do that, huh?
Crack open a cold one.
Yeah.
With the boys?
Yeah.
Let me. You might have to rejoin. I don't know how this is gonna work.
I don't
We'll
know
see.
how.
I just. Oh, you just
Yep.
fucking disappeared. That
It's all
probably
good.
worked.
I'm still here.
Um,
And then you gotta add the other one or
I
whatever.
I took ownership of the other one, so you should be
Mhm.
able to click the one you need, the correct one now.
I have none right now. Hang on. Click, click. Nope. There it is. Ba, ba, ba.
Yay!
Good?
Hopma.
All right. And so as you guys get ready to head off to the Starfinder Society, you notice Amma grabs some equipment that was lying around the room, different than what she had when you last saw her. There are some things there. It's like, huh? Well, how to? What's whatever? But she's definitely carrying some equipment that wasn't there when she walked off the ship.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, my friend is safe, so therefore I no longer care.
Gilly, you just notice that being an operative, you notice that she is carrying some different weapons than what she originally had. But knowing, knowing what you do about mnemonic editors and whatnot, and being able to piece things together through Vector's help, you just assume that somehow, shape, or form, she's acquired a taste for a different set of weaponry.
I know Kung Fu.
So with that, you guys make your way to the Starfinder, the Spire, to talk with Chiskus, who requested your presence. At your earliest convenience. I mean, probably not the next day, but that's what you're doing, so that's fine.
I mean, we had important things to do.
He can goddamn wait.
I had to go fight a door.
I
I'm
am
sorry.
important.
Find every
Jo-
door in this place.
Jono's putting into full effect this T-shirt's plan. Okay.
Nice.
That's my Gen Con T-shirt for the year. Okay, so you guys head over to the Spire. There is still the Lashunta receptionist there who sees you, obviously notices you. Again, minor celebrities, all of you now. And says, yeah, Chiskus just got in. If you'll just wait one moment, I will go let him know that you're here. And she scurries off for a second. And again, Chiskus comes out and please come in. And again, for whatever reason, all the important NPCs you guys meet communicate telepathically. So that's the thing. You're hearing a voice in your head that is not yours as he communicates to you, inviting you into his office.
I telepathically say, "Hey, nice to see you again."
And you see, like, yeah, you look different. It's a good different. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's not important. And then he kind of talks to everyone at once, saying, I know that you were on a mission for the ambassador, and it seems like you've done some really good work there. After seeing the data feed from the expedition, I thought maybe perhaps the Starfinder Society could be more help. It does seem like the mission was an overall success. At that point, Hardicane, you've never met this man. Someone is talking to you in your brain.
Mildly concerned.
You're not dumb. You're just not super smart.
No.
He is, and again, we'll bring up some photos.
I am below average intelligence, not retarded.
Right.
But...
And we'll bring up some photos so people can if they missed an episode where we first saw Cheskus, they can see him. Of course, that assumes that I can... What in the heck? Oh, yeah, wrong. I was like, I'm not that dumb. Like, I've been drinking, but I'm not retarded. There he is.
Welcome to my life.
That's it's kind of a bust of him from the face up.
Centipedes.
He is a no, he is. Nobody picked that class, so I don't remember what he is.
Dog thinks she has to go out again. Maybe
Erase.
she'll actually do something this time.
One can only hope.
Oh God, please.
The alternative is bad for you.
Ugh.
He is Sheeran. He is the third gender of Sheeran, which is the host type. He has telepathic powers for short range, and that is how they all communicate. And as soon as he finishes that, he turns to you and says, "As I've been made aware of your presence and the party," and again motions to the rest of you, the party's loss, I appreciate your willingness to forgo your previous employer's wishes and hope our comrades return safely. As it seems that they have accepted you meant no major ill will, it is only fair that I offer you a conditional membership to the Starfinder Society if you are going to continue to work with them.
See what I tell you. Get you a job.
Yeah, because you did so much. I will accept the conditional.
And to be fair, don't get too hung up on the conditional thing. We just had some people in the past that were, not Starfinder material. But as they have proven their worth, I'm sure you
don't
will
bring
as
ill
well.
will on Joe's name.
That's fair. Brain bug, I accept.
Brain bug. Big brain bug. And with that, he addresses the group in its entirety, saying, again, we don't have access to everything that happened up there, but we did see the recordings. We know that you gathered some data. I just feel since we have access to the Starfinder database, that perhaps if you would share with us some of the data that you gathered, we might be able to better understand this Drift Rock Acreon scenario and what all has transpired.
I point at Amma, and she had all the data. I was just
back.
a muscle.
Are you there,
I'm
EQ?
gonna tap my data pad and transfer whatever I need to.
Alright, I'm back. Thanks for your patience.
Me too.
Oh, you didn't miss much. Basically, just Hardegate getting accepted conditionally.
Yay!
Yeah.
There is a trial
Jodo's
period.
dead. Long live Jodo.
Jodo who?
Ooh.
Which one of us got edited here?
So with that, Chesix looks at his computer terminal and accesses the data and just starts going to town. He seems almost excited about just something new that no one has experienced before, because while they saw what you guys did and the data you gathered and some of the video from the feed, because the recorder was both video and audio, he saw some of the data and the computer systems, but wasn't able to really get hands-on with it. So he is very excited about this new, and from what he can tell from initially the video feed, is unforeseen. Like it's all new to him. He doesn't know anything about it. So he is diving in to the Starfinder database with that much enthusiasm. And then there comes a point as he's furiously typing away and his and Tenai are just abuzz, and from what you can tell, happy facial expressions for like a challenge and new discovery. And then all of a sudden, things kind of dull. And he turns to the party and looks up from his data pad for the first time in probably maybe almost 20 minutes. It seems like you guys have just been sitting there in anticipation. It says, so there's some good news. The
Yeah.
Starfinder Society's linguistic database recognizes many of the symbols that you found on the Drift Rock, because this is not the first time that they've been recorded or appeared post-gap. Reminder to new folks maybe watching that there was a gap in intellect and history that has spanned where a planet disappeared and a station appeared. So post-gap is post-gap of that knowledge. The bad news is that the source for the data is highly unreliable. Segment. All we have about these earlier texts comes from a Hakim Zan, and it was nearly 3 centuries ago. It seems that there are no published studies of those texts, or any of that data has appeared since then. Furthermore, his report was donated to the... Okay, look, next system that we run is going to have much easily pronounced names of things, because fuck all this.
More Bob, less just...
Yes.
Yeah.
Zan's original findings were donated to the Kabarat University of Xenocarology and Xenoanthropology on Castrovel, which is a planet, shortly after his disruptive endeavors. And you can see him kind of cringe as he says these things. Like it bothers him on a level that you're not used to seeing him be aggravated. Fortunately, the society has numerous alumni from that university, and I can secure you contact there and forward my personal recommendation to a few faculty members, and perhaps they can show you his notes or give you the original documents. I feel like figuring out more of what this drift rock really is going to be beneficial to everyone involved, and since you're the Starfinders most closely associated with it, it seems odd to hand it off to someone else at this point.
Are we getting paid? I'm asking the important question here.
Good question.
Goddamn adventurers. Whereas we do try and compensate Starfinders for the mission, I feel like due to the nature of the drift rock and its potential dangerous effects, I would hope that maybe you start on this endeavor on goodwill and reputable notion toward the Starfinder Society, and less for monetary gain.
I'm trying to hold back laughing.
You want to roll a Constitution check or what? Because you can do that.
I mean, I'm okay with that. I don't know about the rest of you guys.
What you trying to do?
I think we're split conversations.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
And Ciskus looks kind of complex. Looking at Hardy, you hear, and everyone else does too, but it's as he looks at Hardy, you can tell it's actually directed toward him, as he's the one that asked about the "Are we getting paid?" Suggestion. I understand that you're new to Starfinder and what it means, but we do have an ultimate goal of the quest for knowledge and unaccounted for things. This is a giant discovery, and the drift rock, although what we originally thought was just some minor asteroid after your adventures and exploits, it is so much more than that. The Starfinder Society will obviously pay for the related costs and expenses in regards to traveling there, but we don't necessarily pay per adventure or expedition, because we would hope that our members understand that the greater good is to try and fill in as much gap data as possible.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, the whole knowledge and stuff like that's not really like I'll defer that to my compatriots here. If they're cool with it, I'm cool with it. I'm just gonna let them
Roll an
figure it out.
intellect check to see if you can use the word compatriots, because there's a lot
Oh.
of syllables. No, I'm kidding.
Nope. My
Competitors.
Compendium.
my buddies, they're gonna do the thing.
So
I
just
just
yeah,
noticed the roll.
yeah, bad.
Yeah.
It was bad before it got worse. So he just looks. I cannot express the gratitude. Again, we would possibly consider sending another team if we needed to, but due to the fact that you've experienced the majority of this firsthand, it does seem like you're the best team for the job, and you've proven yourself rather capable in adverse circumstances.
What does adverse mean?
And you just hear in your head, bad.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
The So does that's so that's bad questions.
That's that.
You're I mean he there's a beat between everything. I mean you're free to ask Jiscus any questions. He's obviously on your side on this. Does anybody have any questions about what's going on or who you're going to talk to?
Oh, I've got a ton of questions, but
I mean,
none of them
start
are
shooting.
even relevant.
Doesn't matter. Go for it, man.
Like, why is
That's
this
what-
brain bug talking to me? How does he do that without
Now,
moving his lips?
To be fair, whereas you don't know any Sheeran personally, like you know of Sheeran, so
Yeah.
and you know they're
I know
telepathic.
Ed Sheeran.
Can
Can I get a real brief TLDR because I was outside where my headset didn't work with the
Oh.
dog?
So sorry. So basically, Jiscus has asked you to go investigate the reports. There was a report filed that matched language data recovered by you
Mhm.
to
I caught
another
that part.
individual, who is named Halkim Zan.
I made you say it again.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, and he is the only other person to have reported on the topic a long time ago. All of his studies were, and all of his reports were donated, quote unquote, and heard as such, to a specific university on a different planet.
Ooh. So we want to go.
And that's all the base of what he has said so far.
Aha.
You guys are free to inquire more if you choose about any given thing.
So is this data not, in the cloud? Why do we? What do you want us to find out?
Basically, we're trying to find out more of just what this device might be. As far as why the data is not in the cloud, certain cultures have different ways of dealing with things. Let's just say that Hakim didn't necessarily gather all the data above board.
Mm. Gotcha. So we gotta go to this planet. It's got a name?
Castoval. Yeah, Castoval.
Bless you.
Castroval. Yeah, Gesundheit.
Roval. And we're looking for the books. Are they like physical? Is it electronic?
I can set you up with a contact who can further be of assistance in this form. All the data, I'm sure, by now is digitized and available on record at the university.
Good.
The universities, due to the nature of the planet, the university's records are kept private.
What else should we ask about?
I don't know. You guys are all
They're
really
already-
quiet tonight.
I know. They're already
I
already
mean-
fixing our ship, right?
Yep.
We're not like paying for that. You
We have
should
the-
totally convince him to pay for the door that you had to pay for.
I already paid for that door.
Paid for the door.
I'm not so hot on the numbers.
Anything else? Do we know anything about the planet? Can we? Is it a culture thing that we could know
Do we have the
anything
coordinates?
about that?
The planet is known.
Okay.
It's not like what is this? We've never heard of this place before.
Guess what?
Yeah.
What about the cat? Though? Do we rock it?
So you know that hurricane tracker. I think we're okay in Kentucky.
Oh my God! Please stop.
Somebody's gonna get punted.
Small beast.
You know that the hang on, do I get better data? Because I can give you some, but it's possible that there's better information here. In regards to the planet, you would know through common knowledge that the planet is kind of set up as a refuge, like a nature preserve, let's say, in current standards. There are some inhabitants, but they're an outpost, and the planet is largely unpopulated. That is because the surrounding planets and colonies have decided, because there was 3 of them and 4 planets, that no one would occupy the 4th as kind of a truce, so that no one got the upper hand. That's kind of like a base level of knowledge that everyone would probably know.
Do we have the coordinates to this planet?
Yeah, just because uploads all the data, including well, you didn't ask, but there's who your contact is when you get there,
We have a map.
and coordinates to the planet, which are readily available. Because again, it's not top secret or anything. It's just this culture is a little, and this planet particularly is a little more closed off and safeguarded than some.
Yeah. All right.
I mean,
We
The
got
uni-
the information. I'm good to go.
the university is known, the planet is known, but just all the data. It's not like they don't just like
Yeah, and we have all the
publicly
contact information for the people at the facility,
right.
faculty members.
Yeah. Chiskus gives you a name of really just one normal name. Huelos. Huelos. Kind of like huevos.
Juan?
Who he says will meet you upon arrival and should be able to acquire what you need in order to further our studies of the Drift Rock.
Yeah.
I am not the leader of the group.
Hey
Oh, but
guys,
you are.
the
no,
face,
no.
the face died, and someone else has to talk more now.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah.
Boys,
I'll talk more, but you'll have to listen to my dog while I do it. Oh my god, stop.
My knowledge stops at punch.
I got stupider, but I did get more wise. Whoa. Sorry, what did they ask?
They didn't ask anything really. They just they've supplied you with coordinates to travel to,
Yep.
a name of a contact person, and said, "Please go forth and do good things."
All right. Well, we're gonna go do those things. Anything we should know? Anything we should take with us? Anything we shouldn't take with us?
Well, maybe the goblins will probably be okay.
Okay.
There
Good.
doesn't.
Good.
Other than that, there's no real major restrictions. You should, but it is a foreign planet. If it's your first time with interplanetary travel, you should know that you'll probably be inspected upon arrival. But there aren't any hard, fast rules different than what is here at Absalon Station.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's go do that, boys.
Yep.
All right.
I would like to go to restock some ammo and shit.
Yeah, let's go shopping. I hear there's capes.
There are capes and a haberdashery, because I believe that is a hat shop, if I remember right, from steampunk days.
I want to
don't
get
know.
like a capelet.
A
You know, like a
capelet?
short one, kind of waist length.
Oh, I think that's still like cape. It doesn't become like a short cape until it's only like shoulder length.
I
And then it's a
think at that point it's a frill.
Okay. Or a
At
poncho.
what point does it?
One of the
At what
two.
point is it a towel?
When it doesn't actually go around you and you just have
And
to
it's
drape
very
it around.
absorbent.
And super absorbent, which is the
Yeah.
opposite of a cape. So with that, just basically, I appreciate you guys. Cheskus says, I appreciate you guys all arriving. Hardy, is it okay that I call you Hardy? You weren't
Yes.
very clear. There was one mention of a full
Right.
name.
Party
Uh,
hardy.
Yeah, just hurricane.
What?
I'm not really trusting brain bug.
Party
This is-
Hardy sounds like a good name to me.
I hope that you find the expectations and arrangement favorable to you. You seem to have a specific skill set that could help out these individuals greatly. And we can talk more about your full honored membership upon your return.
I would appreciate that.
And with that, yeah, he just thanks you again and goes back to his work at his as a data terminal.
Yeah.
Woo.
So
with that, you
More
guys are
than
free
Belgium
to
night?
roam. We are at 11:27.
Out of
Mister,
character
I have to get
question.
up in the morning. What do you got?
They paid us for the last mission. I just forgot how much it was.
Everyone received 500 credits from
Sweet.
Ambassador Noor for delivering the cargo.
Thank you. I didn't add it to my third.
That I promise will have no effects down the road.
Definitely not. We'll never hear from that guy again.
Probably not.
And if we do, it'll be good.
While shopping episodes are incredibly informative, if you need to bounce so that you can get some rest, that is fine. Anybody else that wants to do any kind of shopping before you leave, we can take care of that now.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
did the shopping.
I did mine ahead of time.
We'll just do that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We shouldn't take
Um,
more than 10, 15 minutes.
I am gonna go find a
One would
hat
hope.
shop.
Ooh, yeah, the haberdashery. I'm gonna go with him.
Yeah, fuck it. Hats for everyone.
I'm going for the
That's
cape.
for everybody. You find through minimal effort, and again, you're kind of in an area where wealth is known and people need clothes, so is haberdasheries and tailors galore, and you're able to find a hack shop, if you will.
I will.
I need to make a custom order.
You go in, and there is an older human gentleman in a store that has probably seen better days. Fashion of the current sense is a thing, but hats and haberdasheries, not so much. And he just looks at, oh, well, we can certainly try. What can I help you for?
Well, you see, sir, it is very important that I wear the hat of my people.
Yes.
Oh, well, wait, are you saying this in a literal sense? Like, is there an actual hat of your people, or are you just making
No,
some bullshit
I'm
up?
making one up right
Okay,
now.
good. Because he looks at you. Oh, I've met a few Kasassians in my day. I'm not particularly aware of a ritual hat except for the face guard which you seem to have.
Yes,
So,
yes.
but I can certainly try and outfit you with whatever you require.
Well, my house generally has what you would consider a top hat with its crest on the front, which is a giant fist. Armored
Sorry,
gauntlet, if you
that was
will.
the hard left.
Yeah. Just could you? Because like my head is kind of an odd shape. Is like any way like I could get a price on what it would take to get that top hat
Are
with the armored
you?
gauntlet on it.
Now, I haven't made a whole lot of hats for your kind. I'm not. How much of the head are we trying to fit in the hat as opposed to
Just so I can fit it onto my head securely, so it
Oh,
wouldn't
so it's okay
come
if
off.
it's above a little. We're not trying to give like the
Yeah.
human look of at the brow, so to
No.
speak.
If it's above, that's quite all right.
Yeah, well, that is certainly doable. The gauntlet image acquired later, and we are. Does your house require a certain fabric or material used?
No, it does not.
Oh, so I see. Um, I mean, we can certainly do something with given a day's work for probably around 40 credits for something simple. If you'd want something more intricate and involved, it would require higher grade materials, whereas the same time would have roughly a day. There could be a considerable more cost.
Is there any way I could put a rush order on that? Say 100 credits?
You see a kind of look at his hands that are just got, are frail as he's an older man. Oh, how fast of a rush. I'm afraid that with simple materials, I could do it right now for 100 credits, but it would still take me probably several hours to complete.
That would be perfect, yes.
Okay. You hand over the 100 credits.
Yep.
Well, I'll have to get started on this now. I shall send you a message when it's complete.
Thank you.
Does anybody else want to work the old man to death?
Just one bowler hat.
You want to pull it? There are hats of random shapes and sizes there. Since yours is not a custom order. Yes, bullet.
Well, I mean, it has to have holes for my ears.
Of course it does. He says, as after talking to him, I can probably modify this one, and he takes the bowler hat. off the wall. This one seems to be of sufficient size that with minimal modifications, for about 30 credits, I could modify to fit your specific needs.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Excellent. So take 30 credits out of your account. Said, due to the fact that your friend has already paid such an exorbitant fee, I shall try to have these ready at roughly the same time.
That works.
And he sets the bowler hat aside. Looking at Amma and Victor, would you like anything since your friends have already partake?
I would love a short purple cape, please.
The old man's sure.
He's gonna kill.
A purple cape.
I know it's
Yeah. Business.
I know it's the most rare space dye, but it's what I need.
Nobody really does capes anymore, but I do
They're
appreciate
coming
the
back.
throwback.
They're coming back, you'll see it.
Certainly, I can have one. I'm assuming you need the same rush treatment as the others. So, with the extra material and your size, and he kind of like taking quick measurements and eyeing you from a we should say 60 credits could probably procure such a thing. And again, probably the same time frame. I'm going to have to call in a favor at this point. I feel like there's no way around it. But I could probably still make profit off of 60 credits.
I'll give you 50.
Roll diplomacy.
Oh no. Am I good at that
What a
now?
bitch.
I'm a little better at that now.
Okay, 50, as he just like kind of looks mildly defeated and tired.
I'm gonna let's see, what have I got here? Got anything else I could give him? No, I really don't.
So you hand over 50 credits. Sir, looking at Vector. I mean, at this point, you're the only one left. Is there anything I can get for you while I'm apparently slaving away for the next 3-4 hours? I'm going to have to phone a friend at this point.
Hey Vector, do you want to buy a cape? That's Justin. That's you. Would you like to buy? Would you like to buy a cape?
Drugs are good.
He's taking care of dog stuff.
He does.
Cape already.
He technically does have a cape.
He said he
That's
already got a cape, so
And
it
as
must
he
have
looks,
been in stock.
as Vector gets closer to the desk and the man affixes his glasses a little.
Vector throws
Apologies.
the cape over his shoulder.
Apologies. You were here earlier and picked up something from the distance. With my age, it doesn't always. The vision isn't as good as it once was. But I will take very good care of your friends and have them all set within a few hours.
Yeah, he brought us here. We
I
like
go to the gun store.
Yeah.
Sure. Are you
I'm
going
gonna.
again to Big Al's, or are you trying to find a different location?
Fuck Big Al, because he was kind of like being a dick.
Wasn't being a dick, just being a
What?
businessman, but okay.
Well, he was more like a pawn store, anyways.
Take that.
Go in an actual gun store.
Okay, so there is a location near the spire, the lore spire, that
Yep. I think we went there.
advertises itself as an equipment and adventuring gear store.
Yep, doing
I don't think you got the name of it last time, but it's
it. Yeah, well, I just need to stock up on bullets.
So as you get near, you come across a store that is just entitled the Armory, for lack of a better term, because the PDF is still fresh in my head. So and it is there's a imagery and adverts that kind of panders to the Starfinder Society on the outside. And upon entering, it is very much just kind of a hodgepodge of everything that you could think of. There's armor, there are weapons, there's gear and equipment. It's kind of like walking into a military surplus store. But, newer.
Yeah. I just walk up to the front desk, put down laser pistol, azimuth, which sale price 350, and also Archimeter tactical, which is 750. But I'm on the counter and go like, how much would you give for me for these?
Well, let's see here. There's this. About carry them. Well, they use. Are the batteries in them?
Yes.
Are they charged?
Yes.
Okay, so they carry the. But I could probably do as much as 1,000 credits.
Hmm? Yeah.
That's not a
1100,
thing.
how about that? Because you are getting most of the batteries.
Right, yeah, the batteries. I mean, we have batteries. You can keep the batteries if you want. It doesn't really affect the price a little bit. And he goes back. So, roll diplomacy.
If I can find it. Yep. Yeah.
I can probably go as high as 1050.
Yeah, fine, 1050.
So he takes the items from you, and you can add 1050 to your credits. Excellent. Well, is there anything else I can do for you, or are you just here to sell what you've picked up from...
No, I also need to buy a long arm sniper rounds.
Long arm sniper rounds. Sniper rounds. Of course. That is...
Just a box of 25.
Ammunition, standard, long arms, and sniper. Of course. The standard equipment we have runs 75 credits.
Done. Pay.
And you acquire one round, one, I don't know, charge worth, or I don't know how that works exactly. Bulk worth, which is 25 rounds. 25 charges, quote unquote.
Yeah, it's just like an ammo box. I assume. Because it put me at 52 rounds. There we go. Got it.
So Danny has just like a pocket full of bullets, and he just pulls them out one at a time.
Got a pocket full of shells.
So, aside from the ammunition, is there anything else that I can help you with?
Let me look at your sniper rifles real quick.
Sure, yes, of course. And he points you kind of off in the direction of the long arms and sniper rifles.
Well, nope, never mind. I'm not going. Yeah, there ain't shit I can buy.
Upon seeing some of them, a few different and more options than what there was at Big Al's, but the prices are for new and not maybe what were used weaponry. So it's a little, it hurts the wallet a bit.
Yeah, it's a good bit. Yeah, I think I'm done.
Not a problem, by all means. If something comes up in the future, please let us know. We love doing business with Starfinders.
Does anybody else do anything?
Heartbeat.
You were just the last one.
Yeah, I did all my shopping.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Already.
we did take care of the majority of Amish shopping beforehand. Hurricane kind of is outfitted at level 3 already. which only really leaves Vector.
Yeah, I picked up like miscellaneous items, but it's nothing really to.
I think
remember.
Vector's good, or if not, we'll figure it out later.
And that's certainly something we can do. I know that he's kind of recovering or high, whatever it is.
Why not both?
So, but yeah. So with that, you guys are.
I think that's about it. We just gotta wait for our hats, and then we can.
It's really important, you guys.
We can pick up next session with the revisiting of the haberdashery for the hats. If that's where you guys want to pick up, we are close to midnight, so
Yeah.
it is our normal cutoff time.
Fair enough.
I say we get a good night's sleep before we go back and get our hats.
Another good night's sleep? You're just trying to milk that for all you can. I see.
Trying
what
It's
to
you're
milk it for
doing.
those hip
his
points,
beauty rest.
He needs all the help he can get.
Points.
There's a reason why he wears that mask.
Aw.
It's true. Face only
We don't
mother can
talk about it.
love. You've never seen it, so you don't know.
I don't know.
Well, thank you to everyone for playing. Obviously, I hope you're all still enjoying it. We are officially in to AP2 of the Dead Sun saga for Starfinder.
Yeah.
Yay! And that'll kick off, and we'll the group will make their travels to Castrovel next session, where they hope to uncover more about this mysterious drift rock.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, to everyone on the internet, that was so many things on my watch are beeping at me. Thank you for those who stopped by on the stream to say hi and donate money to keep things running along.
Yeah.
We didn't officially push Gooey out of an airlock. I can always try to do that during the trip to Castrovel. So,
we'll find him.
I'll figure out a way to make it happen.
We'll figure it out.
For $10, I'll kill a man.
Good to know.
Thanks everyone else.
Thanks, chat.
For coming out and hanging out for us. Thanks to Big Mike for the host. Hope everybody enjoyed the session and enjoyed watching again. We've never run this before, so a lot of it's just kind of off the cuff, and we're hoping that we don't break any major rules.
Yeah.
But everybody's having a good time. So everybody, Gooey, because you're the one with the camera up, wave bye to the internet so we can turn the stream off.
I'm waving in spirit.
Waving in spirit.
Ah, god damn it. Ah,
You had. What are you doing? The wave was already a thing, and now you're. Oh Jesus! Oh, nobody wants to see that.
It's
Oh, no.
So thanks for coming by, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Mug,
And
party hat.
I apologize in advance for having to look at that. Oh no! Big Mike got banned for spamming caps. That's how we know we made the big time, guys. We've banned
did
people
it.
for caps.
We
Uh,
did.
We banned the Twitch affiliate. Oh no.
The one guy that had the power to make us all famous, and we banned him and locked his ass down.
That's it.
Rip.
Rip stream.
I'll leave the stream chat open for a few minutes. If anybody has any questions about Starfinder or what we've done so far, I'll be more than happy to answer those questions in case that's what you're here for. If not, we'll see you guys next week. So everybody have a good night and bye-bye.